I laughed, I cried, I clutched my pearls, and I think I did even a little river dancing on my own, okay? Welcome to the after discussion of Queen's Court. On Peacock, we're talking episode 1 and episode 2 right now. So you know the drill. Grab your glass of wine, share this with a friend, and let's have this conversation. Welcome to the Queen's Court after discussion. We're talking about All Hail the Queens and Shoot Your Shot. Okay, this is episode 1 and 2 of Peacock's new reality show, Queen's Court, with Nivea, Tamar, and Evelyn Lozada. But y'all know I'm not having this conversation by myself. Like, this is girls' night. Happy Sunday to you all. And you've seen these ladies on my channel before. I'm gonna bring them up one by one. You know her very best as Dr. Dawn. What's going on?
Hey sis, how are you?
Welcome. I'm good. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, right? You look beautiful.
So do you. Let's
Thank
see.
you.
Let me get our layout together because there we go. We need
I
to
like
zoom
it.
in.
Yeah, she said the home. I like
Right?
it.
You know, and it's not going to be just us, but you've also seen this beautiful young lady on the show as well. So y'all welcome Jolesa.
Hi.
Hey, come on here, change.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, all the girls. We understood the assignment.
I mean, we got to switch it up, you know?
Exactly. You want to date other people? That's fine. We can see other people. You can see
But you got 5 of them in one.
It's really simple and it's a lot of fun. We got names.
Right.
I'm so glad y'all ladies could join. I love our group chat. We be clowning in there.
I
We
know. We have a good
So
time.
lit. Yeah.
We do. It was kind of like AA the other day, though. I was like, oh, we kind of felt.
You know what? I had to put a pause. So I'll just share that really quick because one, I can tell when I drink something, I can tell the next day a little bit quicker, just like I'm okay, but I just feel that lull. And right now I'm changing my life and I'm actually being disciplined, which is crazy because it's something my dad tried to get me to do my whole life. And I was just like, no, what? The same thing at the same time? For what reason? Like, let me do my thing. But now I'm like, okay, as I manifest, I'm getting up at 5 and 5:30. I am really staying on my gym. I'm not eating past 7. I'm not loading up on snacks because I'll sit here and eat 8 cookies. Like I'm hurt. You know what I mean?
I'm with you because I'm not against it. I will smack down a whole bag of chips.
I will
know.
too. I can't even lie. Actually, I'll do the chips and the cookies. So I'm
Yeah.
guilty for both.
Both.
I'm like the
Savory.
sweet and
Sweet and
savory. Yes,
savory.
yes. It's the balance. It's the balance.
I need it all. But when I'm in the gym 5 times a week and I wonder why I'm still seeing this layer over my abs, I'm like, well, girl, what did you expect?
Yeah,
Right.
It is.
You know,
it
you're
is
stuffing your
diet.
face at 11:30 at night. Like those days are over. I can't do that no more.
Right.
She's like,
yeah.
I can't do it. It is a
It's
thing.
16 for sure. I try to
Right.
like if it's 10 p.m. and I haven't cooked dinner yet, well, girl, I guess we eating air because
Get some water.
I
Drink
get
some
you
water.
some water.
Literally.
water. You're 70% water. It's fine.
Yeah. Your body knows what to do with that.
Oh, that is funny.
Oh my God, I love it. Let me go to the chat. What's going on? Hey, Tawny.
Hi.
Hey, yes, we look gorgeous. What's going on? Kimmy's Place. Thank you.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
All right. So you guys know in the chat too, you can chime in at any time, but I intuitively come up with these things. And I thought Queen's Court, right when I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm calling the girls. We should talk about this.
Yeah.
So Nivea, Evelyn, and Tamar, they have a show.
Mhm.
Rodney and Holly Robinson Pete, who have been married for 27 years, an actress and an NFL player, an ex-NFL player, married 27 years, are kind of hosting the show. And there's a lot going on. So why don't we just dive right in? So before we talk about the episodes, what did you guys think of the show just overall, what they're doing?
Oh, so I personally think, let me tell you.
Not the side.
Okay, like, yeah, because like everybody wants love, right? They do.
Right.
Like that's the ideal thing. You want a companion, you want somebody that you can throw ideas off of. But for me, I was like, I'm gonna need a different screening process. Because I was over there, like I be diagnosing people. So I'm looking like, y'all got the brother that got PTSD, clearly. He's been to war, his hair ain't right.
I know.
You got the boy that's overcompensating. Like it's so many layers. And I'm like, y'all need to be looking. If you're gonna put Black people on TV, find the healthy ones.
Exactly.
Find the healed ones.
No, seriously, you didn't tell any lies. I was like the war vet who was like, I've been to war, and I was like, and have you seen somebody for that? Because the appearance doesn't give, like, they did send home the nice Nigerian boy because he was going in on them, and he's like, your fingernails is dirty, your suit ain't tailored.
We're not holding back tonight. We just hold out the gate like.
I was like, okay, like that is important because, like, yeah, you're like, your suit should be tailored. You're coming on national television. Like, your fingernails should be clean. Like, and I feel like at first when we were talking about the show, and I was like, okay, reality TV, and I hate that. I was like, okay, Queen's Court, but then I saw it was 3 beautiful Black women, and I was like, they must be here for a check because I don't think they've given any of these men the time of day. Like, after the show, I'm not calling any of you. Like, I'm here because my publicist thought it'd be a good idea. Like, that's why I'm here. Like, like, a man with dirty fingernails. Like, no, she's not interested. No.
So that was my thought too, and so I was happy because I'm like, yes, Black women, they're 40s. Like, I'm right there. I'm knocking on 40, but like
right.
When I went. And so when I seen it, I was like, can we do something? Like, can we double check our people to make them look better? Like something.
Oh my gosh, the man who got on there, I forgot his name. And he was like, I left like her standing at the altar. Bye. Honestly, I would have went to the producer, like, he needs to leave.
He said twice. He said twice.
Yeah, we're going to have to get into that. But it's so funny because when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, they found 21 single men. I can't even find that with my single self, like 21. Like, okay, they must have really. And then I was seeing some cuties in the beginning, like, oh, okay. But as the time went by, I'm plucking them off one by one, like, ooh. But one thing I do love about the show is that they have people who have been in the industry and married for 27 years hosting. So they know something, they're peeping something. I agree with you about the vetting process because it's something that we have to do. But when I'm looking at it, this is very reflective of real life. Like, if you're going to come across 1 to even 5 men, somebody going to have something that's, you got to really sift through a little bit.
Exactly.
I agree with you, but the issue is this: y'all calling them Queen's Court. So why are we not bringing kings to the court?
I mean, not bringing paupers.
Like, I was like, we're bringing peasants. Like, what is happening? Like, this what is?
Oh my God! See, I'm the green one. I'm wearing green. I'm the green one. I'm over here. I think everything's great. I'm not thinking too much of any of this. I'm so. Something Tamar said is like, I'm not leading with my emotions. And I'm like, ooh, I need to take that because I'm so like understanding. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, they have a good heart. Like, oh, a war vet. Like, he just, what I'm saying? Like, his daughter.
A long time ago.
No. Been there, done that. Like, if
you calling me a queen,
like a duck, it's a duck.
Vet me like a queen.
Exactly.
Okay.
Vet me.
So,
part.
With that being said, off top, who are each of yours top number 1 pick that is showing up king level for a queen?
Okay, so you go first. You go first.
I was gonna say the one that Evelyn. What's his name?
Michael.
The light skinned guy who dated her and Nivea.
No, sir.
Levon. Okay.
Levon is giving. He's giving. I'm mature. I'm ready. I have a good co-parenting relationship. He has good energy. He's not overly touchy and feely. He's not trying to sell himself. He's very reserved, but then he knows how to like come in and swoop in when he needs to. And when he does, he's getting all her attention. Everybody else is foolish to me.
I was gonna say Levon is good because he was like, I did like get married young at 24, and I had the best like divorce. I thought that was beautiful. Like, that's not everybody. That's 99.9. Like, not that's how many people's story it ain't. And so I think that was beautiful that he was like, oh, we have a great co-parenting. Yeah. And I think I kind of like from episode 2, I like Michael. Like, I like that he kind of like plays the background. Like, he's strategic with his time with Evelyn. He's like, okay, like we got new guys here. Like, but I'm not going to go ahead and like it's not crabs in a barrel type thing for him. He's like, like, I'm interested in you. Like, I want to get to know you. Like, I strategically waited to have the last date with you because like the last date, like I got the most time. Like, it's not like, okay, cut off here. Like, I'm the last one. I get to know you more. And I think he may be serious. So I do like him for any
His
of the
energy's
ladies.
off. His energy's off for me.
Michael's
No,
energy?
Some about his energy is like, and not in a bad. He looks like he needs like 3 more trash ass relationships.
Not 3. Oh,
no,
Yeah.
so
much.
toxic. Why can't you?
He's not ready yet. He looked like he used to play in the streets, and so he needs to be heartbroken by a woman. Like he looks like he was the heartbreaker. Like
that could be true. Like I could see that. I'm not gonna hold you. The last episode, because I was trying to make sure I watched it before we discussed today. I did fall asleep in the middle, but I woke up, refreshed these contacts, and I was like, okay, well, I got the gist of it. I caught the last. I was like, dang, I missed the last 10 minutes. Well,
here we are.
Here we are.
I mean, I'm definitely thinking he needs 3 more dates.
I agree with you guys about Levon because I like the, healthy co-parenting. He got married young. I completely understand that. We don't be knowing who we are to stay. Like, I don't expect that from him. He was down. Like, if I'm with a girl who didn't have a child, I'm open, but I don't need it. I just love the awareness and the groundedness. I do think there's a possibility that Robert might be a little somebody with a little something. What was he?
Ooh,
Evelyn's white chocolate.
Which one was Robert? Because they introduced me guys every time.
Oh, yes. Okay, Robert. He's too young for them.
He is young, and I noticed that.
Robert. Oh, yes. He's the one. Okay, yeah.
He's 36.
That was the only reason.
36.
And he doesn't have kids. He's a little too green, like
he's
said.
very green.
Like, so these women
but could
are
that
on the
work?
Other side of children. Well, he might want kids.
But they already have kids. But if he can have one with them, I think if like at 36, like I think it's because they're like, oh, he's too young for them. But 36 that's still a very grown man.
No, I agree with you. He gives me a lot of I don't think he's used to dating brown women. So there's that, which there's nothing to be said about that. But I think that's the first. So that's your first barrier. And then you may want kids. You get what I'm saying? So there's when you gotta add too many layers, I'm like, okay, so you may have not been with a brown, black, whatever woman. Yeah. And then you may want kids. And then this is about to sound rude, but you're in sales. What kind of sales?
Yeah, I don't know if they specified. Yeah, for these ladies, you're right. Maybe not. But just generally as a decent guy, I feel like he has potential and he's good. I was thinking about the same thing with Michael too. And the girls were really drawn to him, but I'm just not sure. And I do know that Holly Robinson Pete said that she liked Levon. So I trust that,
I trust that too. And let's talk about how good they look. Don't they look good?
It kind of matches.
She's 58.
Yeah, fabulous.
Wait, she is? Oh my God. She looks amazing.
Yeah. See what happens when you don't have a man stressing you, you age like
Listen.
an extra 10%. Like, well.
I was like, and then the ladies look good too. They look really good.
They look amazing.
They look really good. I was like, okay.
I was gonna say, especially Nivea, for everything that she went through, like drug use and everything like that. Like, I think she looks amazing.
Oh, see, that's what I was missing. Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about the ladies. So, let's start with Tamar,
I got something to say.
Right. Let's talk about the ladies. Okay, let's start with Tamar. I understand. She's like, to be honest, I feel like I see Tamar's growth. I used to watch the Braxton show and all this and that. And I've always liked her, but I'd always be like, God, there's the Pisces women who are cool, calm, and collected. And then they're the ones that's just like, I want to like you, but you're stressing me out. I'm getting anxiety by your presence,
Yes.
And I would always want better for her. So I'm glad she spent the money on therapy. And that's not a diss. That's just like,
no, that's real. Yeah, that's real. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree. I seen her growth too. And I was like, okay, like, as Black women, I'm like, I want this for you. You know what I mean? Like, I really want this for you because you want it. So I want it for you. You look good. And it's a shame when you have everything going on and you're like, but love. Like, I get it, right? But love, you're like, dang, You're like, my career is good, my body tight, like,
right.
But where the man at? So yeah, I'm definitely pulling for her, and I think that she's come a long way. So I agree.
And I like that dress she started with. I was like, ooh, that black see-through, classy but sexy, delicious situation. I was like, yeah.
I thought that was beautiful, and I like that. What I know from Tamar, because I didn't watch the Braxton show. I saw like bits and pieces, but like her energy was like very like wild, and it was overwhelming, and it was a lot. So I think it was nice that she's gone through therapy, she's done the work, and she's able to say to what's that man's name? Gatsby. Like, as someone who's been there, like, I know what it looks like, and it's overall, like, she's able to see what other people were able to see, you know, when it was her on the other side of that
right.
tape.
And I appreciated that conversation that she had with him, which is why you didn't hear me utter Gatsby's. He's trying to overcompensate, and he does still have. Yeah, so, but she's seen that in him. And I think that was what was in her. So she can recognize it now. It is a mirror of her, who she
just
was.
Be you. And he immediately was like, oh, okay. Like,
immediately.
Because at first, like, the first, 5 minutes of the show, I was like, he's doing a lot.
All of that.
Right.
It's going to creep back out, though. Because who you are is who you are. And
yeah.
It's going to creep back out, you know, and it's sad for him, but he'll show. So.
I mean, he's 35, and the older I get, like I told you guys, I'm 40, and the older I get, like I've always
need to see a driver's license because
I got 1982. It was a good year, you know. It did me well, but I'm just kind of like, man, I never thought I would get to the point where I'd be like, oh, but he's 35, and I'm like, girl, you know, that used to work for me, but now I can kind of tell a little bit, like, not like it's a bad thing, but I can see it and just be like, okay, well, that's, you know, that's probably why he hasn't settled in yet. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
He got to settle in, and that's fine. You know, again, I'm somebody who tries to see beyond things, but not make excuses. So we're happy for Tamar. What about Evelyn? Okay. So married 43 days, engaged 3 times. She looks stunning, been through a lot of infidelity. There was one thing about her, it almost made me cry when she said, like, she's ready, but she's afraid. And I just, on such a deep level, know what that means. It's just so full to be ready, but afraid. So I felt like I related to her in that moment. Like, I feel you.
I agree. I think of all of them, I probably feel like she feels the most relatable to me, only because it's like, okay, you're a woman, you've had these experiences, you've had these relationships, and you know, because you want to trust the person you're with. You're leading with your heart, and then like she said, I've done an abusive relationship. I've had the 43-day marriage. I've had the infidelity. So she's really ready, and there's that fear factor. And so I absolutely get it. It's like, am I investing in the right thing? Is now the time? There's all these questions, and you're like, hey, you know. So that resonated 1,000%. But she looks great.
She looks amazing. I like literally need to know what the skin regimen, because she doesn't look, you know, Botoxed up and over the top. It just looks like a great skin routine and a lot of joy and whatever else she got going on. But she looks amazing.
Yes, agreed.
I think I'm the harshest on Evelyn because I did watch Basketball Wives, and she was a mean girl. So
she was.
And so I know people grow and they can change. And I know for me, like, in my growing process, I've like wanted to like let people know, like, hey, like, if you're gonna be like, I have grown, I have changed, and you may be, because you've been around so long, like, you may not be able to see that because you're so close to me. So I'm just like, okay, let me give her a chance, you know. And I can see the difference. Like, she was saying, oh no, it was Tamara who said that, but she was like, you know, I'm going through these experiences with these women. I want us to be able to, like, you know, be friends and, like, you know, say like what's going on, like, even when the cameras aren't on. So I'm like, okay, I would love to see that, like, you know, like, I would like to give her a chance to show, like, okay, like, I was a mean girl and I was kind of like this, you know, but I've grown and I've changed and I am ready. And I think going through three engagements where I felt like in Basketball Wives, like, she felt like she was better than the other girls, which I felt like humility knocked her on her ass with Ocho Cinco. Literally and figuratively.
Oh, not literally.
Yes.
You know, so like after all that, you know, I think like, and being engaged 3 times will really kind of make you feel like, damn, like, I am an it girl and I was that girl, but at the same time I have to do some self-awareness and be like, where did I go wrong in the minute I was picking that? None of it actually fully committed.
Yeah. And
I'm
I think
excited for her.
it was a lot of pretty girl. It was a lot of pretty girl syndrome, I think, you know, that happened with Evelyn. But I also think, and I tell people, like, I've grown too, because in situations where I would have cussed the person out, I'm so graceful. Like, I'd be like, oh, is that wow. But the old me would have probably cursed them out and some. No,
and some.
When I have a moment to be quiet and I get quiet, no, listen, just know that this is a quiet storm brewing over here. Like, I am saying everything in the book inside my head, like, because it's not gonna make the situation any better for me to open up my mouth and eviscerate you. So
right. So that's what I see when I see Evelyn. I'm like, there's growth, because ultimately I think people forget, just like, and this is off topic, just like when Will Smith slapped Chris, they forget he's from Philly. That's a Philly nigga.
That was
and
Philly.
So she is from the Bronx by way of Brooklyn. Like you, that's who you getting. You say something to her, she coming for you. So I felt like that resonated with me, and I do agree, the world will handle you. You know what I mean? So I think the other relationships are consequently the world handling her.
Yeah, I agree with all that. And then I think about the relationships that she's had. She's probably, I mean, if a man is beating on you or even thinks that he could, like, you're bucking up against him, you're bucking up in these, like, that's a lot of fight, you know? Right. So at some point you got to know when to put your fist down, take a deep breath, and figure out how you, so going back to that settling in yourself, she's 46 and ain't nobody trying, we're not going outside.
We not.
Age. I'm not.
I'm gonna go night. I'm gonna go night.
Like my nails. I'm not doing any of that.
I'm not. I'm gonna wash my face, and I'm just gonna be like, you know what? You go on. And matter of fact, I probably won't even like you anymore if you make me get out of character or think that I'm gonna get out of character.
Yeah.
It's not. So, it's a non-match.
Yeah, it's not.
Fine. Like if I have to go backward, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it is a non-match. What's going on, Monique James in the chat? And y'all let us know, who do you think is the best guy on the show if you watched? What do you guys think of the ladies on the show? And what do you think about the show? Share your comments. We'd love to hear. And then last but not least, Nivea. I just love her. I'm trying to kick it with Nivea like tomorrow. She's so cool.
What is her line? Something lamb. What's she saying?
Oh, my lamb. She's so cute. All right.
So I'm about to sound like a mean girl. I was wondering. I was like, has she used drugs because she has the facial droop? Like, So I would thank you for clearing that up for me, because the other women are 5 and 6 years older than her, and she looks good too. But you can see the wear and tear. Yeah, you can see it. And so that was the one thing I was thinking. I was like, dang, did I miss something? So I missed that. Yes.
Yeah. And she overcame, because that was a big part of her life. And then revealing on the show, I know she can say it lightly now, but with both her parents being crackheads, like, it's just a lot. And then I don't know, you with Lil Wayne, you in the life. I know she married the dream. I don't know too much about him, but you just think about Weezy and what he looks like, and, you know, lean and this and that. She had kids, and it just seems like a lot. So for her to be where she is and look like she does, I'm just like, and still have that light and that playfulness and just homegirl vibe. I love that for her. Like,
I do too.
I was a little upset on episode 2, because when they were doing the photo shoot, like, her bra was showing and like the dress wasn't like fitting how it should have. And I was mad because I was like, where are the people, like, where's the stylist to be like, hold on, let me get right. Like, and like, I was like, no, don't do that.
But that's what I was telling you. There was even parts where their makeup doesn't blend in with their neck. Like, their makeup is and I'm like, y'all, Queen's Court.
Right.
Queen.
I didn't even notice that part. I did notice the dress though.
And so I'm like, not Queen's Court. And there was a part, you know,
exactly. I was like, I can do reality shows like Perfect Match had me locked in every week I was in. But I was like, if you gonna like, I
just wish they would represent us differently.
Exactly. Like, handle them the same. Like, if you're gonna be putting this money in it, if you're gonna try to be like Vanessa and Nick Lachey or whatever the case is and host these shows, like.
And that's what I got from it. I was like, they wanted to be like the Nick Lachey thing, and I'm here for that. But represent us well.
Exactly. You know. I was like, no. I immediately was turned off, because I was like, okay, y'all doing this, but why do the queens look a little crazy? Like, no. Like,
oh my God, I liked it. I didn't notice that stuff. I mean,
now you will. You'll see the neck,
look, but I think
their makeup is yellow. It's like y'all didn't step back and say, let's come on, let's blend.
And then I wonder too, because lighting, like
action.
Yeah, it makes me think about, you know, I'm still wondering, like, if all the crews are Black, because y'all know that's a thing in Hollywood. Like, they don't always have people that not only know how to do makeup, maybe they're doing that, but then you got to think the lighting people, there's so many more things where maybe they just don't know fully, like,
but
that don't work.
We at the house and our makeup look good. we at the house and our faces they blended. We looking, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like if you go come with Queen's Court, bring it. If we're gonna represent Black women, that's my problem. Just throw the extra little few dollars in there and blend. If you got to put makeup all the way down here for their face to look right, do what you got to do.
Exactly. Like I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, this is what Monique is saying. They need a better videographer.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a crew. It's a whole team. And I get it.
And I'm from Atlanta, so that was the other thing. I'm like, there's people in Atlanta.
They're filming in Atlanta.
Yeah,
yeah, they're filming in Atlanta. I'm like, y'all know it's black. That's Chocolate City. Like, come on.
You know,
people.
I did. So, you know, well, yeah, you know,
we sound upset and sad. Because we just want more. Like,
because I'll be pulling for us. When you see us on TV, we need to look good.
Exactly. Like, come on. And it's in Atlanta. Like, no, I just expect. I was like, okay, like Queen's Court. I really didn't know what it was going into. I really thought it was going to be a drama show. I was like, oh, I'm here for it. Yes. And I was like, reality. I was like, oh my gosh. And
I know. I was like, well, girl, I don't know, but well, it's reality. Okay.
So I was like, dang, okay, these high profile women. I was like, how many are actually going to give these men the time of day? Like, am I going to look at the end of the show and be like, oh, these men were simply here to be on the screen, like, and they were just here for a check, which is okay, but don't make it seem like that's like it's anything more than that.
Well, I mean, I love one of the dudes. I can't remember on which episode, but he did say like some guys are here for the opportunity to date a celebrity. Some guys are here for love. And I noticed that too. It's like I watch some of these Ready to Love and other types of shows. And I'm like, okay, at first I thought everybody was properly vetted and really ready. And now I'm seeing some guys are here for opportunities. Some guys want their X, Y, and Z business. Same with the girls, you know, so again, mirroring real life dating, it's like you kind of don't know what you're getting until you get to a certain point. And it's just, it can be a mixed bag. And I don't like that part. But let's dive into these guys because there's a lot going on here. So we start kind of with Papa Smurf. Now I can say, and that's what Tamar calls JR, by the way. which was accurate. I was like, okay, give him the little hat. We in there. I can see how, you know, at the masquerade he's going around, and I think it was Evelyn that was like, okay, 5 kids, 4 baby mamas, and I am with her on that. I think I would be judging a book by its cover, but then later I do like how Holly Robinson Peete talked about how Rodney was not her type. He did things that irked her, and they've been married 27 years. So basically not to be so judgy. Yeah. But I feel like I would have been judging. What would you do in that situation? Hypothetically.
We're gonna save Dr. Dawn for last.
Save me for the end. Save me for the end. Let's do that.
Okay, so when I thought he had 5 kids, I was like 5 kids by 4 different women. Like, no, because if the shoe was on the other foot, it'd be like, wow, you out here wilding. Like,
thank you.
There's no way. There's no way. And he's like, oh, I'm there for every single one of them. Blah blah. I'm like, how? Like, unless they're all like in the same apartment complex, like, how does that work? That's like
apartment. Same block.
Like that you're able to see them all. Like you're already spread pretty thin.
That would be my concern.
Right. Like I get you didn't grow up like with family and everything like that, but I was like, being an attorney, I'm sure you can afford it because you're an attorney, so I don't doubt that. But like,
oh, am I making faces? I'm sorry.
I didn't see anything.
But at the same time, I'm just like, that is a lot to deal with. And I was like, Tamar, you bet not. Like, I don't care how much money he makes. Like, you marry into a man who has 5 kids and you only have 1. No.
Yeah, I don't have any kids. That would be a lot for me. And just, I'm already wondering, can I do guys with kids? Because even it's just bringing these other women in.
A certain age.
The kids with a certain age.
And it has to be cohesive. Like,
and
his
open
baby mama already coming out. She already done came out and said some things.
No,
one of the baby mamas. Oh yeah, she already came out. But let me lead with this. But let me lead with this. First of all, he said 2 children were born in 2019. He didn't say 1. He said 2. That's ghetto twins, baby. See, we're doing it's more accepting because he's white.
Okay, he's white, so they're like, I'm like, no, that's what you was double dipping.
That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. I don't care. Not for me. Do your life, but that is a lot.
Like that reminds me of. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know how like for our show, Dr. Dawn, like, you know, the side chicks, for one of the girls, like she was seeing a guy and he got her pregnant, but he was also seeing another girl at the same time and got her pregnant at the same time.
Yes,
right. Like that's giving the same thing, and it's like, damn, like that's a lot. Like what?
Can I drop some facts real quick?
And go.
So, as y'all know, y'all are so kind because our group text be. But I dated Jeremy for 2 years on and off.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay, Jeremy.
So and he this is before the veneers. Okay. This is
you was dating what did he say? A former heroin addict, Marine slash
he only had
whatever.
Kids. He only had 3 kids at the time. So the other children,
them chicklets don't belong to him?
They don't.
It's getting nasty over here, girl.
So they don't. I knew him before he was an attorney. So he's doing all this attorney, baby. That's 6 years fresh. Calm down.
Said that's new money. Oh,
and your teeth is new too. They 10 years maybe. So calm down. Okay. You're showing JR, but you're really Jeremy. You need to tap into Jeremy. That's what you need to do. Because he's a nice person. He is a nice person, but he's dated every Black woman in Atlanta. Tamar joined the club. And he doesn't like, so again, not properly vetting, because if they walked up to any Black woman in Atlanta and said, do you know Jeremy Robinson? Then they would have been like, oh yeah, I smashed. And that's what it is. So they didn't properly vet. They said white dude, attorney, come on.
Tailored suits.
Tailored suits. And he didn't have tailored suits. He wore little white boy polos and all of that. But then we did date again on the other side after he passed his bar. And when he got the tailored suits and the Range Rover and the Bentley. But Joke, I knew you when you was on Windy Hill in a 1-bedroom with a 60-inch TV. And that's it. So the thing is, great guy. Has the gift of gab. But, and that's I can't say that, that's why he's an attorney. I can't say that he's not ready. So I'm not going to be shady because when we both talked to each other, we were both fresh out of divorce and all of that. So I can't speak on whether he's ready or not. He could be very well ready, but there is a lot of baggage, and you got to be ready for that baggage.
Yeah, because
it's a lot. Like you have to ask yourself, do I really want to be a part of this? Because his oldest daughter, she's older now, but the rest of the kids, they're still in the house. And yes, they still at the house, and all the last 4 all have different baby mamas. The first 2 have the same baby mama. So that's a lot. And like a lot of people. Y'all have a decent relationship. It's not a healthy co-parenting relationship. And you're out here, living your best life, flaunting.
Number 4.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so
my feelings will be hurt. Well, I can't say because I don't know, but I got a 2-year-old. I'm up here still, baby can't talk, and I'm watching you on TV finesse, and I would just feel some kind of way, honestly, as a woman who just had a baby. Like, is she even out of postpartum depression?
She could still very much be in the window. And that's the thing. It's like you're watching this on TV. So I felt bad for them, but also understood, like, I don't want to minimize who he is as a human because he could very well be on his journey and be ready for love. But we do have to consider that, everybody in Atlanta, what were y'all doing to do this vetting process? Because everybody in Atlanta that tapped it. And then, she's all hooked and stuff. And I'm like, girl, like, because, they made the announcement. And I'm like, they made
the announcement.
Wait, what announcement?
Tell her.
They're engaged.
Who?
Her and JR.
Wait, currently, like after the show?
Like actually.
Like
currently.
They said they did it within 3 weeks of the show. So, yeah. So my thing is like, girl, did you even sleep? Did you even test it out? Because, I mean, that's why he was bouncing around Atlanta, because he got a wee-wee. He ain't got a penis. He got a wee-wee. So
what's a wee-wee? Hold on. What's a wee-wee? What is a wee-wee? TLC, they asking. They seem like a perfect match. What do you think?
I mean, from watching the show, I do see, because Tamar, the way she looks at him with all that pretty girl, flirty girl, like I'm trying to, and the whole hummingbird thing.
He makes you feel important. You are the only person in the room. If you're my shade or lighter and you're tall and slim, JR likes you. He loves a Black woman. He is attentive. He will make you feel good, but it's gonna be you and Boo. And here's the thing:
paper bag brown Black woman. He don't like
you and Boo. Women.
Right, it's gonna be you and somebody else typically. And the thing about it is like, yeah, like, so that's, I mean,
if you pass the paper brown test, he like you. Like if you are medium and lower, like, no, you don't like Black women. You like paper brown bags.
He does. He does. Yeah, he does. And it used to be where he just dated any kind of thing, but now he's like hired it. But I will say, I told my friends when I seen that he was on the show that he will marry her because he loves the limelight. That has been his thing. He said, I'm a white man. I'm going to be an attorney. I have black friends. They will come to me. And he said, and I can, essentially give them what they need. Yeah. He's like, I got leverage. He knows he has white privilege, which is not a bad thing, but I'm just saying. So he's utilizing it.
Yeah, you're going to use it.
And his people are black. So he's helping black people. So I'll give him that. But he's a clout chaser. And that's what he likes. That's what he likes. So yeah, of course they're gonna get along. He gonna do all the things he has to do because how most people praying and manifesting. He was praying and manifesting for a woman who's on TV. That's who he is.
Wow.
Okay, and I'm okay if you're gonna be a clout chaser. At least be worthy of it. Like you're gonna do all that, but at least make sure you're showing up as my man. Like okay, you love the limelight, but you better love me more than that.
He sounds good. So I'm watching objectively, right? I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm listening to what I'm seeing, and I'm formulating my own opinion as well. It seems that him and Tamar have chemistry. I think what really sealed the deal for me, and I probably would have been on Tamar's boat too when they talked about the whole hummingbird situation. Because I'm not.
Yeah.
He told that story to everybody. I was like, nigga, you can't give a
But her sister, though.
What? See, that's the problem with us. We take everything as a sign. I like hummingbirds. He told me the hummingbird story, so I made it connect too. So if somebody walk up to you and they say something that connects, we got to stop taking this as a sign that's a sign.
No, you're very right because like
we got I'm a sign girl.
But Tamar, that's not your sign. That's on Google. Like you didn't give him no information that he couldn't have Googled. He told you he knew you were Tamar. He dates black women. You don't think he knew who you were and Googled you and blah blah blah? Girl, bye. That nigga tells that story about his mama to everybody.
Which I'm just wondering, right? My thing is like. Even if he did tell it, so he may tell it to everybody, it may not land everywhere, like, oh, okay, that gets me in the field. I think what did it for Tamar was that maybe she hadn't told anyone about what her and her sister talked about. Maybe it was just her and her sister in that room. Maybe she didn't tell a blog. Maybe she didn't tell anyone. Maybe we're the first people on TV that she told. Like me and my sister had this conversation before she passed.
I agree with you. That part. When he told me, I was like, I love hummingbird cake. Like it connected.
Yeah, and I mean,
I have no connection to hummingbirds, so I'd been like, "That's so."
Like, I love that. Like, oh my god, that's so sad. Oh my god, and then like moved on. But I felt like that was a moment, and I do think you're right. Also, like, not everything can be a sign, and then it makes me wonder too. Like you said, he could Google, he could do this. His approach is different, but then the other guy, G. Sean, he was a total creep about it. So it's kind of like.
Oh my God.
Is Tamar on point with where she is, or is a part of her still attracting some of the same stuff that she's used to because it's hidden in a different package or whatever?
I think it's a different package, but I also think, and here's the thing, I was, when he said it, because I dated him, I was like, okay, so he tells this story to everybody. And I was happy that it landed for her. I really was. But then at the same time, it was a learning lesson. I'm like, we as women take so many things and we want to make it connect. That don't mean the person's the one. Two things can be true. Y'all can have that in common and he not be the one.
It's that once.
I mean, that's true. Realistically,
and so that's exactly what I was thinking. I said, all the stories he told, I've heard. I'm sure all the baby mamas have heard. So he hasn't changed his approach. He hasn't changed his approach. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because it's like what, and I wonder, like, because it's 3 weeks in, like, I'm like, dang, as soon as the show started to air, they said surprise. So I'm just like, okay, it's 3 weeks in for after the show wrapped in 3 weeks, they got engaged.
Season finale, Monique says. Because what I was tripping out, my friend sent me on Baller Alert because she knew I was going to do the show, and I'm like, there's 2 engagements today. Right. I was like, but the show started today. They don't ruin but I still wanted to see the process.
Right.
And I'm still finding value in the process, but I was very shocked that they divulged all of that information.
I didn't like that, and that's another problem. They don't do that on Love is Blind.
Yeah,
or Ready to Love.
Like, why would y'all do that? I was like, why would y'all do this show like that and put these proposals out prior to,
Right. And even if they did propose at the end of the show, right? Like, where's the ironclad NDA that you can't divulge that information until the show is finished?
Some shows have that.
And it appears that Queen's Court or Popper's Party don't have it.
They don't have it.
Party. Not AKA Popper's Party. Speaking of poppers, I'm not mad because I got love for everybody. You know, we are all on this journey, but let's talk about Gatsby. Because he
come on in here, doctor.
He
Can I compliment him first? Can I
compliment him?
Can I tell y'all something?
Please.
He is, other than Levon, he is the only person that is showing up as himself. He is not showing up as his representative. So they don't like it, but he's showing up as himself. I wouldn't talk to him, but that's who he is.
That is true.
Gatsby?
Yes.
I don't think he's showing up as himself.
Right now, I think he's trying to
but I think when he's in a room, I think when he's in a room with people, he's that rambunctious. I think that's who he is. Mm-hmm. I think, you know what I mean? I think Tamar talking to him is him cooling out. But I do think, there's always two sides to a person. But I think of all the people, like that's him being a little rambunctious, him being loud, him being, I think that's who he is. I think he's showing up authentic and as himself, and he's cute and he can dress. Cute.
And he can dress his tail off. He is doing it with the dressing.
He walked into that room as an OG baby said.
Okay.
I was like, okay.
Chris.
I mean, I was mad at
hairline, just
right. All of it. He had that middle part still, like all of it. Like I was like, so I wouldn't mess with him, but I think in terms of him not showing up as his, like, I think if you take him out sometime, he's gonna get loud and rambunctious. I think
and you just have to be okay with that because that's just who he is.
Fine.
There's not anything bad about it because there is some woman out there who'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely, like I love, like that's just him and it's fine. But if someone who's like that much of the life of party isn't how you want to like go about life or who you want to go through life with, then he may not be for you. But I don't think saw too many red flags. I think the only other red flag was like, oh, he said he was a filmmaker. So I was like, are we doing indie? Are we doing documentary? Are we doing
I think he's
films?
From what I know, like I have a couple of friends who went to his little viewing party and stuff. I haven't been in LA in a while, but you know, he's that dude. Yeah. For real. Yeah. From what I've heard from people who
and he shows up in spaces in that way.
Yes,
so
he does.
I think a large portion. Now, I think the person that he gets with that he really likes will meet a different side of him, the toned down,
But that's what I'm saying, though. It's like that's what we're here for because I host brunch parties, and I'm certainly not the same person hosting an entire room of people as I am one-on-one to get to know somebody. So when he said that he needs a buffer. What I heard from that is he is protecting himself from, I think, how people would perceive the part of him that ain't working a room. Is he comfortable with that person? Because a lot of men and women, like, of course, with Beyonce and Sasha Fierce, so to speak, like the stuff that Beyonce can't do, she sends Sasha Fierce out to handle it, and she's safe and goes nuts on the screen, and then is, you know, and so I would that's the only thing for me about him, like, I'd be wanting to get to know you as Kobe, the man. Don't give me no Gatsby. Woo, woo, woo. When we go to a party, let's do that. But like, who are you? And I don't know. It seems like it's going to take us a long time to get to that. And it's not bad. It's just he has created this persona that keeps him safe. In my opinion.
But I think everybody has a persona. I think just like Jeremy, his persona is JR. I think, you know what I'm saying? So I think,
Jeremy Rogers.
I think that they have personas and that's his persona and that's how he shows up. She just got it right off the bat. But now I don't think it's right. I agree with you. I think that he has to turn it down, but I think it's going to take the right person and the right woman in the right space. I don't think it's going to happen on this show. It's not going to be enough for Tamar to say, tone it down. She's going to have to tell him that a couple more times. And then then, and still, the real Gatsby is gonna show up.
Right.
And you can be both. It's just show me both. Like, when we're one-on-one, you don't need to be like the one-liners are done. We're not in the
I agree.
You don't gotta do that. Like, talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Who are you? What do you want to know about me? Like, I agree. So I love to like feel that. And I just want him to be felt. I want Kobe to be felt. We love Gatsby, but we want to love Kobe because this is a dating show. This is not we're not searching for a host or whatever.
Right, exactly. No, I agree with you. I do agree with that. 1,000%.
So I hope he shocks us.
I hope he does too. I'm like, okay, sir.
He won't, because the real Gatsby he's gonna suppress it for her, and then he gonna come back out.
Right. Which I don't
because even Evelyn was like, whatever you selling, sir, I'm not buying it. She
Right.
like,
that's
she
true.
was with
He's like,
it.
I am a filmmaker, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. As women, we excuse that stuff, but that is a large portion of who he is. And that's why Evelyn was like, because she didn't seen it before. She knows if you're the clown in the room right now, then when I take you, you're going to be in the clown in the room when we out. And I don't want to have to teach you otherwise.
Right.
And when we're trying to have a serious conversation and something really needs to be done between us, I don't want all of that. I need you to sit down and talk with me. Like,
right. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Sir.
I don't want that. No. Yeah. I don't want to have to teach you how to be in rooms, because if you're doing too much, like, and I'm not the type of person, like, it's different if it's like, oh, we're both too much and let's just be both too much together. But I'm not that way anyways. Like,
yeah. So he is giving a lot, but I think that a large portion of that, unfortunately, is he gonna have to sit on somebody's couch to pull back that layer.
Yeah, and that's what scares me.
Like, I don't think his personality is a red flag. I just feel like for someone who's not as equally, you know, rambunctious or obnoxious as he is, it can be overwhelming and a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think these women. Evelyn's 46. How old is Tamar? She's in her
45.
45.
I think I went and looked it up. I think she has a birthday like next week, so she'll be 46.
Oh, that's right, Pisces. Mm-hmm. No, or she might have just turned.
Yeah, either maybe I looked it up. I think she's about to turn 46. Yeah, because they just posted it too. So yeah, she's about to be 40. She is 46.
And Gatsby is 45?
35.
35. Okay. Right, which is
so he still got a lot of energy. He just
That's what I'm saying.
He just settle into that thing a little bit more.
And so you just take him on a few dates, and he look cute, and you just take him
you
out
have a
where
great
he can't
time.
talk that much, and that's it. But you don't marry him. You don't marry him. Not now.
You can't marry him right now, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
It's so wild because I'm like, I refuse to date someone who's like younger than 30, right? And so I think it's just like, okay, but it's like, damn, at 35, they're like, oh, he just need to even out. He ain't even yet. Like, at 35, they're not there yet. No.
So
baby, they're not there 46.
I don't remember what show I just did, but statistically, men don't emotionally evolve until 43.
Yep.
So now again, now that I'm here, I'm like, okay.
I see why the girls are dating each other, because y'all get on my nerves. 43? No. Sorry.
You understand? Because when I was in my 20s, a 40-something was out of the question. Like, I wasn't even there. Like, that was an old man to me. I was like, my dad is 40-something. Okay. Like, I couldn't, but now I'm just like, all right, I think I'm here. How old are you? 46? Okay. All
right.
Never thought I would be
31.
here.
I'm like, could I date a 46-year-old? Because I just feel like that's very geriatric of me. Like, ooh.
I understand.
But you're still younger. You're
like 25 or
you're so sweet. No, I'm 31.
You're 31.
Oh, okay. Well,
you're 31, right? Yeah. So I could get that for you. I get that. Like, so I'm 37, and I could date. I could date that. I could go up.
Listen, 3 years ago, I went out a few times with a 28-year-old. So I get it.
And I know I did.
And he was so amazing.
Who's like, okay, like, I'm about my business. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, okay, cool. Like, I think, like, I recently met this guy, and he's like, oh, like, he had just turned 30. But I was like, you can only know so much about a person from 15 minutes. But I got the, like, cool, calm, collected, and like ready to settle down, like, type of thing from him. So I was like, I think it's possible for some people.
An anomaly. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's an anomaly. I was like, okay,
and I think it is rare, but there are some guys like that who just don't want to be about that life. They're ready, and there are some.
Right.
Which is amazing. Like, I'm here for it. Because if we're going to actually grow together, I mean, this is the part sometimes I have it's hard for me to wrap my head around, like, a 46-year-old, like, in my brain, yes, I don't look my age, and I don't feel like it either. So a lot of people think, they already think I'm younger than I am. So I just can't wrap my head around, like, okay, so in 4 years, he's going to be 50. Okay. And then in 10 years, 60. I'm like, okay, my mom is 64. Like, the
math. Like, if you have kids, like, it's like, dang, like, you're already entering the age where you, like, can you still enjoy your kids, or it's like, are they going to be your caretakers?
And I want a child. I still want a child.
Yeah.
So I do think about that. But
I mean, men can conceive forever.
No, they can't. Now their little sperm does. Contrary to popular.
He said, hey, look, it does start to
decline, but it's still possible. I'm just with it. I just never thought, because I remember being a fifth grader, and there was this girl, her name was Angela, and she was like, yeah, my mom's 50. And honey, when I thought that was the most absurd thing I had ever heard in my life, because my parents were in their 30s. I was like, your mom is 50? And here I am thinking, oh my God, if I had a fifth grader this year, I'm gonna be the 50-year-old mama.
Right. Like,
period.
But let me tell you, everybody's what they disrespectful because they call it geriatric pregnancies.
I
now.
can't stand it. That was 5 years ago.
That's disrespectful. But that said, almost everybody. The Brad is pregnant and she's 48.
See, it is what it is. And to be honest, like the more I think about it, I wouldn't have mind doing the whole growing up with my kids thing type of a deal, but I'm even more settled now. Like I'm feeling like, not like I couldn't have done it before, but I'm in a space where it's like, okay, I can really be patient. I really have something to teach. I really have this different level of communication and understanding and all these things. So it's not completely trash, but it's just different. It's just, I didn't think that that's, where I would be or whatever. It's something to think about.
It is.
Right. I agree, which I'm like, okay, well, hey, if I can't do it, that's what Sarah gets it for. My egg and still my sperm.
Listen, it has crossed my mind because
I do.
I don't know. I'm used to looking great in a bikini. Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
But there are
you can still do it.
Okay.
Like,
you can still do it. You got it, girl. You got it. And then now we know better, so we do better.
I think it's unfair to women, like, oh, like you enjoy your pregnancy beforehand, but then I want to like I want to make you feel less than afterwards because your body's like, I'm sorry, how many of y'all are, pushing out children that you carried for 9 months? Like, you dust balls can't even handle cramps, but you want to talk about me? Like, no, sorry.
But I mean, not for nothing. I love the way Evelyn put him to the test on the physical stuff, because a lot of guys, they're not up measuring up in that.
That's why I said Queen's Court, and they're not like, I need y'all. Women are coming strong. We got our careers. We in the gym. We doing all the things,
all of the things.
And so we testing y'all. We testing y'all hairline. We testing the bald spot. We testing y'all strength. We testing your education. We bringing it to the table.
Do you know what I have to do to preserve all of this goodness year after year?
Look, my homeboy,
I need to keep up.
Look, my homeboy, he told me, and it's funny because he's here. He was cracking a joke one day because he was like, oh, women go through menopause. Men don't pause. And I looked at him and I said, it's fine, but y'all die early because our life expectancy is up to 90, where y'all's is 72 to 75. So where we don't pause, we stay alive. So I'm gonna need you to step up.
And your cholesterol is up. So now you're gonna be up in the upper room.
And we want to love y'all because that makes you live longer, but I was gonna say, like, we got to talk about Tony being 54 and never being in love. It's unacceptable.
No, that was wild. Like,
that was wild.
How have you been 54 and you haven't shared that with anyone? That that level of deeper connection. Like, you've been surface. Like you out here, like how have you not, like, I don't know. Have you not had that deeper level of connection or intimacy with someone, but you was just fucking, for lack of a better word?
But then also don't say, yeah, I left her at the altar twice with the same woman. What? One, this is what I say, the things we allow. Because ain't no way you left me once at the altar and now you're gonna live to say it on TV.
No, I would have ended him. Like, he wouldn't have been on that show because I would have been on Women Behind Bars.
That's cold. That's cold-blooded. And unfortunately, I can see how it all happens, as he broke it down more, talking about, he did it for the child. But one of the things that stood out to me that he said, and I'm starting to feel some kind of way, is as soon as he said, I'm passionate, ask my mama, she could tell you. I was like, I'm not,
You said, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
No.
She's cracking me up. She said, I'm okay.
I am not asking your mama at 54 about your passion.
Right.
I'm not asking your mama.
No, what cracked me up about this man, and he was like, and I just knew he was there for the show. He wasn't there for love or anything. He talked about, I'm a cigar influencer.
Right. And then explained what it was, because I was trying to figure it out too. I was like, wait. That's the thing? I was about to hit up.
Does it pay the bills? That's all I need to know. If a cigar connoisseur pays the bills, then let's do it. I'll do a little Havana Slim on the side.
I'm not mad. And he, so I was kind of thinking like, yo, like, how can I do this? Like, you know,
sounds fun.
Like, but I was wondering, like, when he said it, I was like, so you're on the show for this?
Exactly. Because I was like, cigar, like, it was so specific. Like, you easily could have said, like, oh, you know, like, I work in social media. Like, no, you went on here to promote that you're a cigar influencer.
Yes.
Okay, well.
Did you consider the audience for Queen's Court? How many men are watching this?
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
What was his name? I can't even remember his name.
Yeah, his name was exactly. I just knew he was the man who talking about he left someone at the altar twice. That's how.
Yeah, and the whole ask my mama, she'll tell you. If you 50 something still talking about your mama, that just makes me uncomfortable. There's a point where it's endearing. It's like, oh, he has a great relationship with his mom. That's great. But then you get in a national TV show about dating, you talking about ask my mama. It's just. I'm not trying to date you and your mama. I'm not sure what you and your mama got going on.
Right.
Because it sounds like whatever it at, you two, you don't got a wife, but you still talking about your mama. Like, the math is not mathing for me with that.
Yeah, like,
so it was, my ear was just like
later on, like, oh, you know, like, I take care of my mother. So, you know, that's not what he said, though.
No, I didn't. Maybe it's just me and my PTSD.
At all.
No. It wasn't given what it was supposed to give.
It wasn't given what it was supposed to give. Mm-hmm. So that kind of takes me to Rayshawn. I'm kind of on the fence about him because I do understand the hair situation, but I am one of those people who like people with that deep past, that deep, gritty, I done been through a lot type of a deal. You know,
like my
bad. But like an overcomer. I like an overcomer. You know what I mean? Like somebody who can understand some things. But what do y'all think about him? 3-time war vet. His oldest daughter passed, which is that is so painful to hear.
So my issue was not, I don't even care about the tailored suit thing, because here's my thing. I can get you together.
We can go get a manicure.
I can get you. I can do all of those things.
That's light.
My issue is that you've been to war, your daughter passed, and I thought I seen a flask.
Oh.
You have a problem and you're self-medicating your PTSD. And this is what I'm saying.
He had a flask.
So now I'm like, you guys are putting these men on the show, and when these women like who've been abused, like Evelyn, who've had these relationships, you give them this man. What is your process?
Yeah,
like y'all are just throwing us anything. So I was an overcomer too.
Like that'd be a great story. Like he's a 3-time world vet. He's overcome that. And I think that's all they saw. Like, okay,
so I'm gonna sit on there, because me as a queen, I'm gonna sit on there and ask you, how long have you been in therapy? Do you have nightmares? Do you hear bombs over Baghdad? Like, what do you got going on?
It's fair. These are fair questions.
And I feel like those are the questions the girls should have asked, because the minute you told me 3-time world vet, I'm like, okay, so you know, like how was that? Like, how was uncovering those layers in therapy?
No, but he couldn't talk about it. Remember, she was like, tell me, like, what was that like? And he said, that just opens up. Yeah, he's like, that opens up a different energy.
Which that I can understand. Like, you can work through that in therapy and be like, you know, like that, it was very dark.
But that's how you know he didn't go.
He's been injured.
Even if you went to therapy, like, even if so, like, having to recollect to someone like, oh, the bodies I saw that were piled up. Like, I don't think I'd be able to talk about that
But
either.
I don't think that's what she was asking, because there wasn't enough time for that. A person can ask you, oh, and how was that for you? What was rough? It was rough. And I've been to therapy for that.
It took a long time to get over it. It impacted you this
she
way.
Wasn't asking you, did one of your friends get killed by a grenade? She wasn't asking you that.
That's true.
She was asking, it's a very superficial question, because she's never been to war.
Yeah.
Right.
So now you need to learn how to answer the question, and you don't, because you're still suffering.
Right.
It's very deep.
3-time world vet. So it's like, how long have you been suffering through this?
Right. And then your daughter died.
And it's kind of like showing, and it can be showing up in your appearance, like you haven't been taking care of your hair. Like that man said, your fingernails were dirty on.
He did. It was giving homeless, and I don't even mean that to be funny. It's just
it just looked like he wasn't taking care of himself.
Well kept.
It looked like he sits on the recliner with a gun because he's gonna have a flashback at any moment, and then he's just gonna start shooting whoever comes to his front door.
But that's what it seems like he's keeping it together for the show. I think he just maybe needs to get it together. Like I would, like Tamar said, like, hey, look, we going to the barbershop. Like that would have been a part of the process at the show.
Evelyn says she getting her clippers out, like
right, and that's the thing. And he's actually not a bad looking man.
No, I can tell. Like, that's a handsome man. Like
that is a handsome man.
He really seems sweet too. I don't think he's gonna, shoot. No, but I want him to be loved. Like I don't know what it is. I'm softy about these things. Like people need love, and I think he just needs to be loved. And I don't know how that looks or how it's going to happen, because sometimes when a man starts to get a certain age, I really do start to question like how you're kind, you're sweet, you cook, you're handsome. Why are you not married?
Well, and I think that's the funny thing. So I think it's a mix of things. Definitely with men is the goal marriage. That's one, because everybody doesn't have the goal of marriage.
But why are you still dating at this age? Like, you don't be by yourself.
Look,
like,
my face is.
What? Because
I need more. I don't.
You don't have to waste time. Like, you may think it's taboo. Call up a prostitute. Like, don't. If you just want to have sex, like, there's easy. You don't have to wine, dine, date. No, you can just have sex with someone.
But they like to wine and dine. They like to wine and dine.
The truth of the matter is, men aren't having to marry us because a lot of women have lowered the standard of how to show up anyway. So we're giving people the whole cow. And the milk and everything. So why would they be out here marrying? You get what I'm saying? Like,
what do you think?
I mean, there's.
What do you think the women are giving away that's considered like the cat? Like you're buying, like I'm giving away the
sex, cooking, living in
everything,
the house,
living in the house together. You're giving them everything. So what they got to marry you for?
That's true. Because I was gonna say, like, sex is subjective. Like, I mean, of course, like you want to like have sex with someone if you're sexually attracted to them. So I don't think that's giving them everything, but everything else, like. Okay, cooking, like, yeah, like for me, I have a 90-day rule. If you don't know after 90 days, if you want to continue to get to know me on a like singular level, then no, we don't have to continue doing this. I'm not wasting my time.
But I think I always tell people, like, we can create our own terms, because it does because I've been married before. So I always tell people, like, for me, the end goal is not necessarily marriage either, but it is a healthy partnership. Like, I could very much do Goldie Hawn and what's the white man name?
The man.
I could do that. Like she says he proposes all the time. What is this?
I think
it's Doug. I don't know.
I don't even know who Goldie Hawn is. I should have bought my iPad so I could look these things up.
80s baby.
Got 80s baby.
Oh, okay. Go
80s baby.
Okay, but so you know her daughter though.
Heidi.
No, girl.
The really cute girl from, was it 50 First Dates? No.
Yeah,
he's not that into you.
Very more.
10 days.
He's not that into you. The Matthew McConaughey and the girl.
Yeah, like
her.
Why can't I think of her dog?
What is her name?
She's real cute. She has cute ears.
She was just in Glass Onions.
That's her.
That's her.
So
her mom.
Goldie Hawn is her mom.
Yeah.
And so she's been with Kurt Russell.
She's
been with Kurt Russell, and they have a son together that's older than me. And she said she doesn't marry him because she don't want to mess it up. She's like, I already married somebody before. And so she said, I'll marry him when he turns 80. And she turned 80. And he proposed to her. She said, "We're not messing this up. Just leave it alone.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it." I'm not mad.
So they've been together over 40 years. So
that works.
I would love to have everything. Like, I just feel like if you can show up and be, now I desire marriage, of course, but it's not the requirement. Show up and treat me like this married man. That's
I need to be married. I want that.
Yeah, because I'm like, isn't that still catering?
That's just me
that's still catering to, like, you don't have to marry me because, like.
No, I agree. So I desire marriage, but it's not a requirement. So kind of like Levon saying, I don't need more children, but for you, I will. So for a man, I would definitely get married and we could do the marriage thing. But at this point in my life, I can also just be your life partner.
Yeah, you've done marriage.
I've done it already.
Like, it doesn't.
I have my kids. I've already been married and divorced. So, at this point,
that makes sense.
Yeah. So at this point, I know that that we don't have to. We can make our own route. It doesn't have to be traditional.
Okay,
I agree.
That happens when you don't get married. Like, I guess from me coming, because I've been married before as well, and I definitely probably should have waited and taken my time. But like, how does it work? Like, okay, like you build this life together, and say someone passes away, like how do you like sit there, like, because I feel like sometimes like death can get really nasty. So you've been there for 40 years, say like, you know,
girl, I already got an advance directive. So I'm gonna do an advance directive. I'm gonna do a will. You're gonna be taken care of. So
but don't people contest like wills in court? Like, no, sorry, we don't hold.
We don't acknowledge that.
Well,
like
so
DMS's wife.
But you can do your advance directive, and you can put in there when you're in your sound mind, like, hey, this is the person that I want to speak for me in the event that I can't speak for myself. This is the person, and they're gonna acknowledge your will. I mean, you did now, so you know what I'm saying. But I mean, you do put it in writing, and you do what you can do, and you have faith and trust that it's gonna work out.
True. And it's like, how do you bring that up if you're not? Well, I guess if you're married, it still is a hard thing to do. Like, like I don't even know if my parents have their will together or whatever the case may be. So it's just like, how do you even go over that when you're not married together? Like, is it just a conversation? Like, I
feel like everything is a conversation. So I'm gonna have the conversation with you regardless if we're married or if we're just. But now we're gonna discuss the guidelines, and the guidelines are gonna be this: if I don't desire to marry you and you're okay with that, then we're treating this as such. Mm-hmm. So I just think it depends. I mean, we on a whole nother conversation. My bad. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it's a good point. It's because this is 2023 and things do not seem or feel nearly as black and white as they used to be. And nor are people feeling ostracized for wanting to just live with somebody till whenever and do it that way. So it's a conversation. I didn't even know what kind of directive was you talking about. I didn't even know
the advance directive.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of that. Look, I didn't even know. Okay. So we can all learn.
Help us get our life
yeah. And so that's the thing. Like, and so I mean, but to each his own. You can set everything up. But again, I do desire marriage. I want to be married. But in the event that things are going good, I could be like, hey, yo, like Goldie, like, yo, we've been doing this for a minute. Let's not mess it up. We can have a reception. We could even have a wedding. But
let's have a little celebration.
Right. So, I'm open.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. Shoot.
I'm definitely not mad at it. Whatever works at this point.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
People are struggling out here. Okay. So the dates, we've got some amazing dates. I like the aphrodisiac date. I definitely liked the paint date and the, it was Tamar with the cake, Evelyn with the paint, and the aphrodisiac. Those were cute. Those were fun. Yeah, that was cute. What stood out to me is we got to talk about Nathan, because I was really feeling him at first. I was liking how he painted the aura and how he did the thing. He was chocolate. He's tall. He's Harvard. He's Bronx. He was just giving. He was in a relationship for 9 years. So it shows that he can have longevity. I know, Green. This is what and he's only been separated 2 years, so it's just all looking and sounding so good. I was almost about to look up his Instagram since it didn't work out on the show. And then listen, I'm just looking at, you know what I mean? Look, I'm fishing just a little bit. Okay.
So I thought, I agree with you, actually. I do agree with you. I think that, he presented himself very well. I didn't understand him going all the way off, but I kind of understood.
I must have been napping because
what did he say? Wasn't it him?
The tall chocolate dude that did the Evelyn painting, and he was like, "This is your heart, and this is the glow I saw around." Oh yes,
this is episode 1. Okay, yes.
Yeah, this is Nathan.
I thought he was sweet. He's been kind of quiet in episode 2.
He did not. He didn't make it, girl. He was quiet because he wasn't there. He was out.
Didn't he go off?
He went off.
Oh yeah, he was the one. That's the one who.
That's Dirty Nails. That's Dirty Nails. That's your name, Taylor. That's him.
That was disturbing.
Yeah, because that would have been a big red flag for me too, because he felt like the man was personally attacking him, when really I felt like
it was so light.
It was light. Like he was just being funny. Like, you're here. Like, we're all here because we're competing for the same 3 women. So why are you taking it? Like, he knew. Like, I felt like it was a joke.
It was so light. He was totally kidding. Light.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give you this time of day. Like, I would look at Rashawn and been like, so
can I tell y'all something? When Evelyn said red flag, I was like, and that's your mirror.
Mirror?
Yeah,
Evelyn
how
used to act
Mars
like
is
that.
Gatsby? I felt like he was hers. Y'all both
Nathan.
from New York. She used to snap on people when they used to do that type of stuff. So
that is true.
So I was like, and so when she said red flag, I was like, you've evolved.
And now you know how probably sometimes like even though she was engaged 3 times, I'm wondering like what happened in that relationship close up, because if she was snappy like that, oh no,
she was. And this is what I'm saying. This is people can't. So I feel like I'm happy that it was exposed and that she's seen who he was, but I also want her to realize that she was that person in the room a lot of times.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even catch that, but you're right. And not only that, but that's going to be triggering for her, because if I had been headbutted by my previous husband,
for sure,
I don't know, I would want to be stuck in a room with a dude who can draw my aura and then snap like that on somebody. Yeah. And then,
that would be,
know what I'm saying? That's like, you
scary?
scare me.
That would
scare me. Even when he
that would be triggering for me.
Yeah, even when he left the table, just that eye contact, he just, I don't want to paint him to be like threatening, but
it was a red flag. It definitely was. Actually, it wasn't even a red flag. It was a deal breaker.
It was a deal breaker.
Absolutely. It was a deal. Like, I think there's a difference between a red flag and a deal breaker, and like I feel like they should be synonymous, but I was just like, I
think they're different. Red flags and deal breaker. I see them as speed bumps and roadblocks. Like stuff is like,
and that was for me. That was like, okay, hard stop. So she was like red flag, and I was like deal breaker. Like, but I also wanted her to understand that that's your mirror. That's how you've showed up in plenty of spaces where people have seen you.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I should say like they shouldn't be synonymous in like the group that they're in, but one is definitely like we're not continuing. One is like I'm gonna look out for this and bring it to your attention.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, like you don't know this man, this ex-war vet / whatever. Like you don't know
what it's supposed to get on this show.
I
Like,
told you
you might be popping off at the wrong
person at the right time. Like stop playing.
Just because he looked like something, he didn't even get to know his story before he thought he'd get all linked back. I'm Harvard, but I'm Brooklyn, right.
Like, oh, you got like your suit ain't tailored. Like, okay, and now you look like a goofy. Like,
right, because you gone.
So, but that was his thing, because like you said, you're tall, you're dark, you're handsome, you got the Harvard education, you got the businesses. I was like, okay.
He was looking.
I was gonna say easy on handsome, because I thought like, okay, he's all right, but.
Yeah, no, he was just all right. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you, but it was like, okay, you got a little package,
Yeah, you tall, dark, the tall, dark, and handsome thing. Fine, you went to Harvard, okay, but now you're acting snobby, and
now you showed out. You just showed your ass.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And then again, I'm like, okay, 37. Like in about 5 years, you gonna be somebody. You gonna be somebody.
Come circle back around.
5 years though? Oh,
5 and nothing less.
Eclipse, we're gonna have to do this life together, girl. I think you got easy, and that's fine.
I'm being so real. I'm telling you, because I didn't even know. I didn't even know until I got up here, and I was like, oh wow.
It's wild how much women have to do, like, and
it's almost unfair.
The household, but I gotta shape and mold you sometimes, and to teach you things, and it's like.
I'm not here for all of that.
I'm not doing no shaping and no molding.
I'm not gonna shape. I'm not gonna mold. I will
compliment.
I will inspire. I may give you valuable feedback, but that's it. That's all.
Just
that's all I got.
But little sprinkle.
Like I have to at 37. Like you have 5 years before you learn like a temper. Like why haven't you learned that in 5 years?
Because men statistically. Men do not emotionally evolve until 43. That's why you seeing what you seeing now. It's not even a diss. It's just what it is. And what I think, more as women, in my opinion, and I'm still figuring it out, but it's more looking like we have a lot to tolerate until then, because, the molding and the shaping, there's no amount of molding and shaping we're going to be able to do. Like we think we can, but you cannot. Anybody who thinks that they can change, mold, and shape a man is 200% wrong and delusional. It doesn't happen. Like, that's why, in my opinion, the best thing you can do is get with somebody who's willing to do that for themselves. Because then you're going to be sitting there doing your thing. I'm going to the gym. I'm doing my skin regimen. We're not eating that. I'm not doing this.
I'm not doing that.
I'm doing it like this. And eventually they peek over and be like, let me drink some water too. Let
me
me get up and go to the gym. Let me, but it ain't gonna be because I'm like, baby, you're gonna get up and come to the gym because you want to live long and then bye.
No, it's not gonna happen. Agreed.
Bye.
But I guess I'm thinking shape and mold because I think like some people don't know things. So if let's say that one of those women had decided to get with Nathan and he didn't know that, you know, his obnoxious like snobbery, which came across as like rage, was something that was like a deal breaker because no one had told him. Like, so is that still shaping and molding him because no one brought it to his attention?
I'm not at this big age. I'm not bringing anger and rage to your attention. You know when you acting a plum fool and you see yourself. You know when you start talking about this man's tailored suit and his dirty nails, and you started naming things, boy, you
left already.
You went to Harvard, baby.
Yeah. True. And he said, I know all these things about you because I'm observant. I'm like, you also look like an asshole. Like,
right. And here's the thing, but who told you? And here's the thing about it. It's like all of them keep mentioning their tailored suits. And this is a problem with society. Who told you that was the standard? It's sexy. Now, don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong, baby. That's lingerie.
But baby, I can get you a tailored suit. I'd rather you not snap on the man with the tailored suit and the dirty nails.
How about that? Because I need kindness from you. Because guess what you gonna do? You gonna snap on me like that.
You gonna snap on me. You gonna snap on me. And then guess what? And then you gonna make me elevate. And because I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna take it for a little bit. But after you do it over and over again, now you got me coming out of who I am, and then we're gonna end up with a headbutt.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be from you, it's gonna be from me.
Asking how did we get here?
How do we get here?
With this bandage on your forehead. I'm gonna tell you.
It was real quick and dirty.
Right. I wouldn't want to do that, which is true. I guess it's just like certain things like some people don't know because in their past relationships, no one said anything. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it to your attention because no one else told you. And I think it goes based off of their reaction and how they take that feedback, if you can continue or not. So I was
I feel like that's beautiful. And that's the difference. I think that's the major difference between all of our different ages, which is beautiful.
Correct.
Because I'm not
early 30s because I'm not doing it.
I ain't telling you a motherfucker.
Early 30s, me would have sat down. I would have lovingly approached.
Oh my God. I'm gonna write it in my notes on my phone so I make sure I hit all the key points. Oh my God.
I would have asked about 5 guy friends. Like, how can I approach him with this so he can
baby. If you let him pull the wool over your eyes and tell you that ain't nobody told him, don't nobody need to tell you certain stuff.
That is true. I think it's just
I have to be, for me to yield to you as a woman, I have to be able to trust that you see yourself.
Yes.
Now, if he would have came back the next day, and I know they would have aired it because this is reality TV, and been like, yo, brother, I am sorry. I snapped out my face. I'm really nervous. I didn't need to go that far. If he had done something like that, now we're working with somebody.
Right.
Because that was all you, bruh. But if somebody has to tell you and then you sit up the table like, oh, okay. And the way he was looking, it just.
Yeah, all of it was off.
Even when they had. In that case, you're absolutely right. I guess I'm just talking about in an instance where like a man is truly remorseful. Like,
provide an example of what he did, though. Provide an example.
We need to talk about this.
Yeah, we gotta talk about
what exactly do you mean?
What did he do, sis? What did he do?
So
you want me to provide you an example? I'm gonna give you an example. Remember the last time we spoke? I was talking to a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know I had my fibroid surgery.
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't call me. I had surgery on Friday. He didn't call me on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. He is the guy that I was talking to. Not is talking to.
Way.
Because I'm not teaching you how to call me after surgery.
Why wasn't he at the hospital with flowers?
Exactly.
I'm not teaching you that.
Because last time we talked was in January, so I've been talking to you for 2 months, so it's not like you didn't know this one coming up.
Nigga,
I hate that.
You've known the whole journey.
I hate that.
And you talking about that you're gonna be my wife, and then said, give me time. I can show up for you. I can show, baby.
That's
the next woman is gonna have a hell of a man because you gonna know. But
I
don't want to have I hope so. He 46.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Did he like what happened afterwards? Did he was like, oh, sorry, like I fell down.
Oh, he
apologized. I had to crawl out.
He said, I'll take 100% accountability. And I told him that is beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
For the next woman.
Yeah.
Because
because how is he even going to get that? How is he even? Because the next woman, maybe it's not exactly that surgery. So if she goes through something else, like you're not ready to go, train to go kill her.
You're not.
Like,
and then yeah.
That's so unfortunate.
Then his dad, I was on FaceTime with him, and his dad was like, I was with his mom for 42 years, and I too did not check on her because she was a strong woman and she had to teach me.
Oh my God.
I'm about to.
And let me tell you what I told.
She turned her camera off.
So guess what I told Pop? And he said, and then Pop said, you were in his mind because he talked about you all weekend. You were in his spirit. And I told Pops, I said, Pops, I appreciate you. And I said, but guess what? I don't want to be a no nigga spirit.
I don't want to be in no. I am so, I can't.
Like,
and then his dad was like, and I said, and furthermore, y'all was together 42 years before she passed, which means she taught you that in your 20s, baby. Not when you was half a century.
So I'm not doing that, Dad. If you could tell me this, have you told your son? Have you revisited all of what you didn't do and tell your son how to treat a woman? And his wife ain't even here no more.
Right.
And you didn't pull up for his mother, and he perpetuating the same thing, and y'all ain't had no conversation. I'm upset.
Right. So
this is why he is 46 with no wife.
That is why. And he will, and that is why. And so he's 46. And so I had to walk away. And he's like, dang, you making a big deal out of this and blah, blah, blah. I told you it never happened. No. This is a problem.
This is a problem.
This is a problem. And I'm not willing to stay to fix it.
No.
Just because it's small to you doesn't mean it's small. And it's not small. I had surgery. Like, I had something removed from my uterus. Like,
right. And they put me to sleep. You know how many people don't wake up?
Like, I didn't say I went and got my wisdom teeth pulled.
Right.
Like,
hell, we'd been cool a few months and we were still checking on the sister.
Right.
Like,
you.
Just on some basic,
decent. Some basic.
How we gonna call, like?
And so now you're making me tell you. Now you're making me tell you all my niggas checked on me.
just at a basic, like. But don't be mad, you know. So I was talking to somebody too, and I didn't get a Christmas present. So I was like, huh? I didn't get a Christmas present. And then I know there were some extreme circumstances, but then after that, I'm watching this man go above and beyond and do everything for everybody in his family. And you so invested in that, but I can't get a Christmas present. Or when I want an intentional conversation, now you so I'm stressing you out.
Right.
No,
let me just
look. See, that's my mother. She posted a comment in her.
Hi, Mom. Hey, girl.
Her and my dad been together. They've been married for basically 40 years.
Thank
you. The way they treat you at the beginning of dating is the way they will treat you when you are married. You just gotta find out quick. Yeah, I'm like,
my gosh, that's
gorgeous.
Your mom?
That's my mama.
Sister.
Yeah.
She is preaching. She's right. And I'm glad I found out because I'm watching this man. He seemed like an amazing man. I mean, we were doing all the things. It felt so good. But when things got hard, instead of it being something that we could overcome together, I ain't getting no reassurance. So can I have a moment? Can I be scared?
And it's hurtful because you see them show up that way for other people. So you're capable. It's just not organic for you with me.
And that's okay because that's just, you don't care about
crazy.
Me. That's okay. Be upfront about that because you wasting time here with me and I'm wasting time here with you when you could be wasting it on, or you could be investing that time in someone else.
And goodbye.
No, but and it even goes deeper than that because for the guy I was particularly dating, it's for his family. It's mama, sister, cousin, daughter. It's like, I'm like, you think you're being big brother, you are being husband. Right. The energy that you would put towards getting to know a woman who's not your blood. So I understand that might not feel safe for you.
Right.
But when it's in your face, you are courting and dating and giving and pouring into and loving on and making sure and respecting and showing up for. I don't even get a Christmas present.
So guess what? He's the guy that says, ask my mama, I'm passionate.
Because I'm gonna say, oh, maybe
you get on my nerves.
I'm gonna say maybe
I'm not asking your mom anything.
Like this is how men should treat you and everything like that. Like that's good for like the young nieces and everything like that in your family. But like the aunties, uncles, like your mom too. You know, like But like every woman in your family, like you playing, yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, I'm talking about sisters at your house, this person on the phone, and now, mind you, there is an extreme circumstance going on in his life. That's why I wanted to give him grace. There was an extremity there that could knock anyone off their square. But for me, I saw it as an opportunity to grow beyond some things as a unit and see it didn't have to be my way. It didn't have to be this way, but how are we gonna, you know what I'm saying? Because
but when you can't, but when you can't, I gotta me. And that's why I
have no choice, because now, okay, let's say after this situation passes, what you gonna come back and let's try again? Why? Because when life gets hard, you're showing me what you're gonna do, and life is gonna life for life
all the time.
It's
true.
Yes, very true.
So it was unfortunate, but I had, here I am, and that was another 46.
Yes. See, so it ain't 46, it ain't 43, it might be 47. Because we both just said we're 46-year-old man. It might be 47.
And it's sad because these are like, I'm looking at this guy like, you deserve to be loved.
Right. And that's
you need a wife. You are killing yourself for people who cannot love on you like a wife.
Not only that, they don't leave you for their significant other when they come around.
Right. I literally had that same conversation, Jerry. I promise. That was the conversation.
Listen.
I said it's hurtful because I watched you show up for other people. I literally break your back for other people.
And you supposed to come home to me. I got the sauce.
Right. No, right.
I got all the sauce.
I got you.
So that's why we said, look, she green in this situation. That's why we said, what is it? What is it that they gonna do where you be like, oh, I'm gonna teach you?
I think you're teaching someone how to love you in the beginning with the things you tolerate. So for me, my thing was, dang, I can't believe all the guys we were talking to in January when we last out, you need to cut it.
What about you? Is yours still around and he's gone too?
So no, he's not gone exactly. I just felt like he had a lot going on, like moving here from the UK, and I just felt like he wasn't himself, like the person I met the first week. And so his thing was like, he would just I would tell him something being vulnerable, and like he would throw it back at me and weaponize it against me.
That's hard.
Yeah, and I was like, now I don't feel like I can trust you with my vulnerability, because I was like,
you can't teach that.
You can't teach that.
You get what I'm saying? Like I can tell you once, like when I tell you something in confidence, I don't need you to throw it in my face. But we're not gonna revisit that again.
Right. And that's the thing that I think what it was that I just kind of like, I was just like, okay, I just let it pass. But it wasn't until it really like made me snap that I like brought it to his attention. I think if I had told him in the beginning, he would have been like, oh, I didn't realize, like, thank you for telling me. And he would have corrected it immediately. But now it's happened so many times that I'm just like, I was just like, I think, don't get me wrong, I think he's an amazing man. Like, I was like, I'm not closing the chapter on us by any means. I'm just putting a bookmark in it. But I think the help that you need, I wouldn't be able to give you. And I think that you would have to uncover those layers in therapy. So I don't think he's a lost cause. I just think that right now I can't be for him what he needs me to be, because it's hard to love someone through that. And
I mean, he can't be for himself what he needs to be, because if he can't, in my opinion, accept your vulnerabilities, to me, that's something that he can't. What is that within him? Right. That sounds like, because we're all mirrors some way or the other, in the relationship. So there's something within him that he can, I wonder if like his dad didn't let him express things, or know what I mean? We could go on and on, something. But it's just there's something. Yeah.
I think it was just that he's so used to taking care of everybody else. He hasn't really taken the time to take care of himself. And I need you to take care of you. And he's like, I'm not against therapy. Like, I would really love to go. And it's on my list. He's like, just with the things I have going on right now, I haven't been able to go. Like, and I think it's because, like, having moved here, like, you don't have the same, like, in the UK, you can go to therapy, you can go to the doctor. Here's the problem,
but all that speculation, ain't nobody got time for that.
No, and not only that, but everything that you do flows from you. So why is therapy on the list? It should be at the top. You need to clean that out. Your business, whatever you start, you're not going to be able to relate to the people under you, have these business meetings. Everything is flowing through you. So how is your vessel and your your mind frame, not the number one first priority in all of your list of stuff to do. It just doesn't math.
So you did the right thing. Put the bookmark there.
Yeah, I had to put the bookmark because I was like, I think
because people aren't perfect. I get it.
They're not.
Right. And I think when you get home, like I think in the UK, like here in the US, like I only started going to therapy like maybe a year ago because it wasn't so accessible to me. And so he was like, back home, and he was like, like that's not something that like was really discussed or talked about in my house. So I didn't really like learn about it until like kind of later on. So he was like, I want to go and I plan to go and I am going to go. He was like, like he was really like, he took it in stride. Like he took the accountability. It was like, I could see he was like, thank you for telling me this. So I have the chance to like change it. And I wish I told him beforehand because I think he really would have made the strides too. And it was sad, and it makes me sad thinking about it.
It is sad.
Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And you gotta trust, God and the universe and be like, you know what, this happened for a reason.
And I'm in the same boat. I'm sad because these men, they're not bad people, but it's just like, I can't sacrifice me for you. And that's something that I used to do. I can't. You know what I mean? What about, it's the same thing with the vulnerabilities. I expressed some vulnerabilities, and instead of being met with reassurance, I was met with withdrawal. So that even, and I know that there was effort there. So I'm not even going to paint this dude like that.
Right. No, it's sure. I get it.
But we're two different people. I had to tell him it's going to take work for us to, but even thinking of that, you got all this other stuff going on. Like, that's just too much. And unfortunately, that's just what it is. We're going to have to learn each other. But if I'm telling you this and you respond with too much space and like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I know these people just have their own, but then he takes care of everybody else before. He takes, I got a phone call. Yeah, but he takes care of everybody else before he takes care of himself. So how could I expect him to know how to take care of me and then put himself first when it comes to what he desires? Like, I can't, you're not used to it.
He doesn't even have the first steps. Like, he doesn't even know what that looks like. And
I think sometimes men are so used to taking care of other people that they haven't really taken the time to take care of themselves. Like for Valentine's Day, like I got him yellow roses because yellow is his favorite color. And I was like, you deserve roses. And he's like, no one has ever given me like flowers before. Like, not a man, like no one. And I was like,
and the 46-year-old said that too. I sent him a cup of coffee and flowers to his job, and he was like, I sent
plants to the house as well. You need some love and some light.
And so here's the thing: we're showing up in these ways, and some people just not ready. They're just not ready. You know what I mean? And so it's hard for them to receive love from other parties.
Yeah,
especially when these parties is popping.
Right? Exactly. That's the truth.
Like you love me,
right?
Like, I
like do. How? Yeah.
With all your, so I was like, with all of our fabulousness,
right? And I was like, I'm not closing the chapter. I was like, I'm putting a bookmark in it, and it was hard because I do find myself falling in love with this man. But I was like, I just need to. I know the work that I've done, and it was hard for my ex to love me through my divorce. And it sucks because it was like, damn, when now it's like my turn to love somebody else, like I can't do it for the simple fact that I think it's going to send me back severely. Like the angry person that I was through my divorce, I felt like there was a chance that I could go back to that person if I had to love you 3 years, and I can't do that.
Yeah. No,
like,
that's what, listen.
You and me.
Yeah. Artistic IQ echoing. Never sacrifice you.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Wes. Yeah, that's my boy. No, and literally, like, and I think we as women, we do that too often. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure men do too, but as women, we do, and we're like, even you talking about, I'm not closing it, but I'm putting a book. Girl, I left bookmarks alone a long time ago.
I have to close, if it comes back around but it's closing it. That's because I don't want that version of you.
I don't. So I don't even want you get what I'm saying? So I don't even bookmark nothing no more, baby. We got to have
because that energetic cord with the bookmark that stays lingering when you check in, when you looking at stuff and you thinking of him or think he might, all of that is energy.
It is.
Oh, that's true. Damn.
So it's a complete, that's a completely different book.
I did tell him. I was like, now that makes so much sense because I was just trying to let him know that, like, if he came, like, because my sister asked me, she's like, would you date him in the future? I was like, absolutely, I would. But I need him to show up as his whole self. Like, I need you to be there for you, you know? And I was like, I don't feel like you are right now. And I felt like the guy I met the first week, like, absolutely. But that second week shift, I was like, I feel like you're going through a lot right now. And like, if I'm going through a friendship breakup and like, I tell you about it and you weaponize it against me, not even 5 minutes later, like, I was like, no, like, this ain't gonna work.
No, because that's it's abusive. I'm not trying to paint, but I just mean on that energy of yours that you're saying you don't want to go back to being a certain person, dealing with the same energies you did under your divorce and under this. It feels abusive.
Oh,
but
yeah,
you do have to be careful
abusive.
because it's also familiar.
Yeah,
so you don't want to get caught up just because.
And now I'm gonna react to like now I'm gonna react to how my ex-husband was treating me, and I don't want to feel like I'm on my defense or on my guard. Like, no, like,
right. You're like, I moved past that.
I want to give and receive love.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. And then when you get past a certain age, you're like, really, this could be so easy.
It could be so.
What Lauren he'll say, it could all be so
simple.
Like,
but you'd
rather make it hard. Literally.
Like, why?
And so that's what it is. It's like, it's really like, yo, let's enjoy this life together.
Please.
You know, have amazing sex. Yeah, there's gonna be stuff because life is going to present
because
it.
Always.
But we ain't got to make stuff. We don't have to brew stuff in the kitchen.
Right.
And I know I'm showing up willing. I don't have to be healed all the way, but even in my communication, I'm telling you what my triggers are, why, what happened, what I'm working through, you don't got to worry about me. I'm going to do my work. That's who I am with or without you. That's who I am.
It's
so
ongoing.
You good.
Like,
you safe
good
over here.
Yes.
Right.
I ain't expecting you to change my life, but you know, if something happens that's positive, great, but I'm not reliant on you to grow and heal. And so let's not act like I'm some huge, insurmountable
Boy, please. I'm an asset. I'm a whole asset.
Right.
I'm gonna level you up.
I don't expect you to change my life, but I am expecting you to add value to it.
Add value, absolutely.
That's it. Literally. That's it.
But otherwise, like, I'm doing the work. Like,
hey, look, which is why, and this is why I was saying for the show, Queen's Court, I don't feel like they vetted those people properly. Because half of those people that are coming in there, like, I need to know. Like, but maybe the women aren't asking the appropriate questions either. And maybe we just haven't seen it on episode 1 and 2. But the thing about it is if you're going to date me, I'm gonna have to know some of these things. And like you said, you're gonna know my triggers, you're gonna know this. And those are things that you learn with people
work
over time.
with me. Like, if you know, this just needs a sprinkle of reassurance. You ain't gonna have to do it your whole life. Nobody's asking you to pay all my bills and drive me everywhere and get it. Like, this is kindness I'm asking for.
Right. Literally, I'm asking for the bare minimum. So this,
and I'm telling you exactly what it is.
I'm giving you the cheat code. I'm giving you the cheat code. I told people I'm not playing the playbook of Dawn. It's nothing. It ain't guess who. I'm giving you
manipulation.
Like, you know what's wild? I feel like I wish that I love what Jonathan Mayer said. Like, someone asked him about his masculinity. He was like, I think it's, you know, being a leader. I think it's also about, you know, being a provider. He's like, but I also think it's about kindness. I also think it's about vulnerability. Like, I was like, listen, sir, bust down my door anytime. Of
course.
I'm ready and willing.
Right.
Here. But I think also with little Black girls, like, no one tells us how to date. Like, I think that's why so many women and men of other races are like getting married so much younger. Like, I was like, I have like coworkers who are married and they're like 29, 28. I think it's because they've been taught how to date, and I feel like no one has taught us how to date, which sucks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other factors involved. Like, you know, we don't seem to do the family unit. And again, I don't mind, like, dating other races. There's not a problem with that, but just notice in other cultures, they're really big on bloodline and legacy and checking out families and all of this and that. But we're the ones that's like, love is love and whoever, and there's baby, there's all this stuff going on. But it's like, why do you think these other people are very, you know, it means something. It gives you roots to things. We've been willy-nilly as if we have no, you know, and I think it's okay to be a little bit more strategic and serious when it comes to who we hook up with. But, you know, and then with our families, it's like, I watch Power, you know, but it's like, you know, the little white boy Braden, he comes to like, my name is on the school. My parents bought this. We can't be involved with that because the trust fund and the this and that. It's like, we kind of sometimes are out here with nothing to lose. And we're just out here like, nobody's talking about this stuff.
Right.
So you're right. We have like a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to, you know, lining that up.
And unfortunately, it's going to be on us to like teach those things.
It's us.
And, you know,
it's us right here.
This is it. This is where it has to start. We are those people. We are the legacy. We are the ancestors that have to we're the ones.
I would tell,
you know what I mean?
Tell my kids like in their 20, like from high school 11 to 25, absolutely do what you want, learn from your mistakes, have a little heartbreak or two. But from 26 at 12 a.m. on and up, like you need to be thinking about like how and who you want to spend your life with, and don't just be willy-nilly with your heart and, you know, your vulnerability as a person, like, because you don't want to be experiencing heartbreak at 20. Like it hits different than it would in your early 20s. Like,
but I think that also just teaching people, you know, going back to the basics and telling people about love and about partnership and about creating and those dynamics. I always joke with people and I tell them, you know, my kid's dad, he's an attorney. So I always laugh because I always say, if I had to do it again, I'm going to choose him, because at the end of the day, our kids are smart as hell.
Right.
And they're cute. So I'm like, you know, at the end of the day, like,
I love that.
I'm like, you know what I mean? So I tell people, because we out here, people just out here impregnating people, doing all the things, and you wonder why your kid is ugly and act crazy. You didn't choose properly.
You didn't even find out what was going on.
You didn't even find out.
Even guard against it. It's not even that it exists. It's like, how do you fight when you don't even know what you're fighting against?
You don't.
How could you reproduce with the dollar store manager?
Right. Or you reproduce with the woman with the fake ass and the fake titties, and you're trying to figure out why your kid ain't got neither one.
Or your nose, the kid's nose, and
you're like, what is happening? Because you met this person and you didn't even get to know them. You don't know anything about
their
them.
family.
So we need to bring it back to the basics. Learn their family. Learn the love. Learn how. It's just the basics, and teaching people the importance of partnership and the importance of love, because people got it twisted. They think that we on this earth forever.
It's wild.
And so you want to tell people like,
you do know this is going to end. You do know that, right?
The only thing we all have in common is we were born and we're going to die.
Yeah,
that's the only thing we all have in common.
We all going to do that.
Literally born to die. That's what you're here for.
That's literally it. So teaching people that dynamic of, you know, love hard, like find someone
but
that you can
choose the
spend
right
this
one.
life. Yeah, but who you can spend this life with, who can speak for you in the event that you can't speak for yourself, that you trust them that much.
I also think, I don't have kids yet, but in this age where I think I would approach it, I think if I can instill a level of self-love that is unshakable in these kids, I'm not going to have to tell them how to handle a heartbreak at 19 or 26.
Agreed.
Because I need you to love yourself. I need you to trust yourself. Ain't gonna be no kids talking about your hairstyle and your this and that, and you break it down and what I need you to just be a solid human who loves yourself, because then you will make, hopefully, now you're gonna mess up everybody that we learned, but at least you will know to take them. Okay, I learned from my mistake. Let me get up and go again. Okay, I'm not gonna choose that person because he just talked to me crazy, and I'm not gonna. You know, somebody put that online and they were like, oh, somebody needs to tell her daughter to go back home. But I guess the boy, she was going to go out with somebody. And the first date they met somewhere. The second date, he was coming to pick her up and he was like, well, I don't have a nice car, so don't be a little bitch about it.
What?
Who are you calling out? That's not even funny.
Listen.
Don't go out with that. Don't go out with him.
Goofy. I don't care if you call me stupid. Nothing will set me off faster. And way back to who it was, you call me anything besides out my name.
You need to know. And then it was a whole debate like, oh, well, you know, he did it. Why are we teeter-tottering? It's a hard no. I need you to love yourself to know.
Like, you don't like it. Like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, you know, like.
No, but don't talk to me like that.
I don't like it.
Don't talk to me like that.
That's what that is. Don't talk to me like that.
But society has made it seem like it's okay.
You are not allowed to call me.
Right.
Yeah. That we're not going on that date. I don't want to have to tell my child that.
And you shouldn't. And when you instill those proper core values in that, and like you said, in them, it won't even be a thing.
That's what I'm hoping for. So.
No.
Yeah, that's wild. So, you know, Evelyn had it right. She used to ignore and make excuses for people and no more, because unfortunately, people have to be responsible for themselves. You'll never be able to do it.
and that's what you realize is like when you get older, you stop making those excuses. And so, you know, you do. You're like, I'm not, baby, that's real cute. Thank you. But no.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like now I'm like, I guess, like, it's not that I wasn't single before, but I guess I'm like not seeing anyone anymore. I was like, you know what? Like, if I'm honest with myself, and I was telling one of my, I'm sorry, sweetie. I was telling one of my really good friends this, like, sorry, y'all, you're gonna have to excuse me. My pajama pants is on the lower half.
So it's
okay.
mine.
I got leggings on, girl. We can.
I was like,
hey, look. Hey, at least we know how to pull it together. Okay.
I'm just saying, this is what we're doing.
Okay. But I just felt like, dang, what was I saying?
Your friend. No, you weren't gonna date. You're not dating anybody right now.
Oh yeah, because I was just like, I think for me, I was being honest with one of my my really good guy friends out here. I was like, you know, I felt like when I was working in the service industry, I was like dating in survival mode. Like, okay, like I would be okay with mating someone who makes more money than me, and like being okay with being a stay-at-home wife or whatever, so I can pursue my act and everything like that. Like, if I'm not making as much money with you, I at least know that I'm a damn good wife, you know, like I have something to bring to the table. But now that I'm like, okay, I've got my y'all, I got a new job, y'all.
Yeah.
So I'm
love
excited,
it.
and I was like, okay, I'm in a job like that I really love. I'm a production coordinator in the gaming division, which I absolutely love.
So fun.
And I've been trying to get into like production for forever. So I'm glad that, you know, somebody actually and finally gave me a chance. And so now that I'm here in like my big girl job, I'm like, okay, like I'm like settling in, like trying to get like things together that I want to be together in my life. It's like, okay, now that I have that, I was like, I'm not dating in survival mode. So I want to meet someone who's like, who they don't have to make more money than me, but at least make the same amount and above. You know, like I'm not looking for someone who makes enough money to support two of us, which I feel like I was looking for beforehand. Instead of just looking at the man, I was looking at what he offered more so. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like now I'm like, okay, I'm not dating in survival mode, so I can actually like take the time to like get to know someone, see what you're truly being, if I actually truly and genuinely like you.
That's such a better lens.
That is,
you know,
that is.
It's not so.
It is
right, clouded. You know,
right? Like, okay, like you're not really cute, but you know, you make 6 figures, and like I'm gonna have to like think of something else when we have. Like, right. I don't have to do that.
Yeah, right. And so, and that's the good thing, you know, like that's the good thing is that now, like you said, because your toolkit changes as you evolve, your toolkit evolves. You can't use that same struggle toolkit. You know, you got to come with a whole different toolkit. And so that's good. I'm happy to hear that. Congratulations. That's a big thing. So your dating pool has changed.
It has, you know, we'll see, because I don't go outside. So I don't know where exactly I'm supposed to meet people these days. And I was like,
I hear you on that.
That's okay. You never know. Like I'm on it right now, and I have like a little signage that I put in my kitchen, and it's like, let the unknown excite you.
Yes.
We always get so like, well, I don't go outside, so I don't, but you just never know. Like someone could slide in these comments because they came on, and you just like, we don't know. There's infinite, there's a myriad of ways things could happen. It's just your job to know it's going to, and stay optimistic and centered in your business.
Pray, yes, you got to pray that you have the spirit of discernment to be able to see and know. And you know,
and that's
decipher.
It.
That's it.
That's your job. That's
good job.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And I think
don't settle for no bullshit ass relationship. That's what I always tell people. Just remember that.
You like, don't let the scarcity and the key in the dating pool and everybody's horror stories like have an impact on what's possible. Because at the end of the day, it's like our thinking. If you don't know that you have the power over your life via what you're thinking about and what you believe is possible for yourself, then it's really easy to fall into everything that's happening around. And most of that's not even real. People don't even realize what's going on in their life as a product of themselves.
Today did teach me one thing. Like, I have realized that the word defensive does set me off, but I think that's because when I felt like my ex-husband, like when I had to defend myself against him, like he would use the word and like make it seem like he would use it as like a punching bag, like, oh, like you're defending yourself when you shouldn't have to be, blah, blah. So every time I hear it now, I feel like I'm being set backwards, like I'm being made to feel bad about myself, like for defending myself. And just the word itself will set me off. And so I feel like people like try to downplay psychological abuse, but it really will do a number on you. And it's like years later and I'm like, damn, like, okay, like I'm still like battling with some things.
Yeah.
And so my best friend challenged me. She's like, you know, like she's like, I would say that, you know, like you should go back to therapy to figure that out and how that affects you and do that inner work. She's like, because your husband in the future may call you defensive, because it could be true. You could be defensive.
Yeah.
But it could be that right now you can't even bear the word because you hear it and your guard is immediately up and you want to strike anybody who tells it to you.
Yeah.
That's like, that's
true. I mean, I did start my coaching program, so I've already had 2 clients tell me that they've gotten more out of one class than they did in 4 or 2 years of therapy. So I'm just
wow.
Yeah, I went on a limb and I started because I had to kind of get over that a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, well, my life isn't perfect. How can I tell? And it's like, no, girl, all that wisdom you got, like, you need to. And to just see their lives change so instantly, it's just like,
you got it.
It's been a good couple of weeks. I'm like, okay. Happy New Year to me. Okay.
Yes, congratulations. I was
gonna say
that's awesome.
Also, you know, I think you said you're in Texas. Is it Houston or Dallas?
Houston.
Okay, yeah, I heard about the brunch party, sis. We like
when we come in
months in advance. Let us know. Why can't we come? Why we?
There is no reason why you cannot. I need to get it all the way together and.
Okay, we could be on the same flight.
Yes, like, for real. Hey, girl.
Yes, make the magic happen, and y'all can stay here.
Okay, yes, I would look. Let me know. I am down. That
right.
Look, thank you for calling that out.
Let me find out. She said at the beginning, I said, I ain't gonna forget. I am a brunch girl.
Like,
if it ain't bottomless, I ain't going.
Hey, look, let's make that happen. No,
Facts.
but I wanted to circle back around because all of the things that we're talking about, like right now, that is what I thought for Queen's Court, they should have done in the process of choosing the men for them. So I kind of took it personal because if my friends, even though these aren't their friends, or people that I knew that were married for 27 years, did y'all pick the people or did these people just apply and y'all say, okay, you know what, you're cute. Okay, you gotta, you got, like, what was the criteria? What did that question list look like? Because I really ultimately want them to find love. But I think about, like, if we were on that show, like, and then the jokers walked in,
all the men, absolutely not.
I'd have been like, wait, what?
We would be eating them up. I would be eating them
like
up.
And not in the way like, oh, you know, like women do this, like, oh, they have no, like, no, I'd be asking the important questions and I would be like, no.
Yeah, I think Tamar is doing it. And I think, just to the show's defense, if I were to just play devil's advocate with that, it's like, yes. And again, I do think that this is real world. I do, as women, we have the grace, we have the understanding, but it's also the discernment to, of course, not ignore flags, not make excuses for people, not become these men's therapists. But, you know, Holly Robinson, I keep thinking about what she was saying is, you know, I like the way they're doing it because not everyone's going to be your type. Because I know that has gotten me in a lot of trouble. And when I think about what my type was, it was that familiarity, but that familiarity wasn't coming from a good place. Yes. So you might want to see just a little different mixed bag of things because you almost never know. And I'm not saying it is, but maybe the dude with 4 baby mamas I just don't know.
Right.
I'm just saying, you know.
Right.
So
yeah, and that makes sense. But I think my thing, like, I do, because I get it, but I'm like, you guys are presenting them with people that you're ultimately telling them they should marry. And I don't want it to mirror the streets. Bring me some good options. You guys
married.
I'm gonna need y'all. And then you know what they did that was different than everybody else? Like these other shows, you'll realize everybody's from the same city. These jokers are from everywhere.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's right. South Carolina.
Yeah. So they got Texas, they got LA. So you guys had the big pool. So did you
had money?
So did you not just, that's the thing. Did you not just take a long time and open it up big enough? Who was interviewing them? What men were talking to them? Like, I would want a psychologist weeding out my people.
I feel like for the dating shows, for those, they should have psychologists on them. Like, Love is Blind,
right? Love is Blind.
Listen, it starts on Thursday. I feel like we should talk about it.
I feel it in my spirit.
I love is Blind. Like, I do feel like this season, though, I really feel like we should get into it because I feel like for the last 2 seasons, the Black women have not gotten the flowers that they deserve. But this season, I'm seeing the Black folks on there in the trailer. Like, they look like they got on some knees.
Oh, good.
So like, okay, good. Like Black couples. So I'm like,
oh, good.
I'm here.
Yeah, so that was my only thing with the show. It's just like, to be fair, if you know these women are coming with all this baggage and this trauma and they're coming healed, make sure that you're weeding. I don't want it to mimic my dating life. I can do that at the house.
Like,
I want you to do a real, like, you got me pausing work and pausing my career and
not
stuff.
pausing work.
Yeah, you got Evelyn then left LA. She in Atlanta, you know, and so she not selling her butterfly earrings and stuff. Like, bro, I'ma need you to really screen these people. Come with it.
And but so apparently they did to some level, because 2 women walked away with rings, and we know that. So we're gonna have to see how it plays out. But I know the show excited me.
So I'm gonna go ahead and go and watch that, because I was like, oh, now I'm invested. Somebody, like, they actually got married. Okay, I know Tamar won, but I didn't figure out the second one.
Yeah, it kind of just makes me, because to be honest, I wouldn't mind somebody bring me 21 men just to look. I'll weed through, but bring it. Let me see what I can do with this. But 21 is a nice number, and I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I think I could find a connection. I could find a connection. Like, who y'all looking for? Peacock.
Right.
There's 3 of us right here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind for sure. Like, at all, like being able to weed through, because I feel like I have what it takes to be able to weed through now.
Yeah. So if y'all can bet, okay, so that we know they got money, we know they dress nice. They got some.
Honestly, they could put all 3 of us on a show. We'd have a time.
Let me do
the whole time.
Nice. You'd be like, no, girl, you're too young. No, he's not.
No, sis.
We'd be in the Queen's Court, like, girl.
I'd be like, okay, bye.
And speaking of, I don't think. We mention Nivea? I don't think Nivea's gonna leave with anybody.
We know she's not engaged, or else we would have heard about it.
Well, I
want her and Mac to figure it out.
Yeah,
I like Mac for her. I
like Mac for her.
I don't think Nivea's ready.
Why?
I think she has some work to do. I don't think she knows what she wants. The other women are very sure. Like, she's kind of like, and it's not I'm trying to figure it out. It's I still got work to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, so that's the thing. It's not it's very much like how you and I and all of us, we're like, we know what it is. She don't have that for like that behind. Hers is like indecisive,
because she's still like a homie, but this guy like, she plays a lot, which is fine. She's very playful, but
she's very playful.
This isn't a game.
This isn't a game. So I don't think she's ready yet.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's gonna play out.
Right. And maybe she found somebody to date and they're just not moving as fast.
That would be dope. Now that would be dope. If she found that I could definitely see.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah.
Because it'll move her forward in whatever way needs to be done. If she gets a great relationship and, you know, whatever.
That would be dope. If she found a guy just to date and because if somebody proposed to me on the show, I'd be like, oh, get up.
Not me. I would be like, oh my God, I knew it. Love it first sight.
I'll be like, no, let's do it. Let's wear this ring for a long time.
We'd have to go ahead and be like, Jenny, give me your hand. We're going to discuss this.
No, right? He asked me. No, but he asked me though. Like, no, girl, get off me. Just
right. You don't understand. Okay, girl. Okay.
We'll worry about the rest later. Like,
right. Come to find out he was addicted to heroin, like Mr. J. Pardon? I bet she didn't find that out in 3 weeks.
That's the part, right? Exactly.
I did not know that. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's intense. That's intense.
But I'm like, if you turned your life around, that's cool. But that's, sheesh. Yeah. That's heavy stuff. But I do admire the discipline to be able to turn your life around. Because some people get on that and they never come back. Yeah. To do all that and become an attorney, like, sir, I will give you your flowers.
Yeah, I mean, it's the work. We all got to grow. That's why I'm glad that you said, like, hey, I don't know what kind of growing and whatever he's done, good for him. But, I think here, Sherry Velez, your mom is talking about Nivea.
Oh, yes. Yes. She's
bad boys.
Yep. And that's what it is. I think she's like still trying to figure out, do I really want the bad boy or do I really want a good guy or do I even know who I am?
That's true.
What he said, but
now artistic IQ, Wes, you said his name was. He brought up a good point. But you got to keep in mind the many men. Ooh, many. I like that. who know their purpose are very private and perhaps wouldn't be the kind that would even apply or participate in the show.
She left the room.
So the pickings may still be slim.
Hey, he made me get out my seat. That's the truth. That's the truth. That is the truth.
That's a great point. This isn't for everybody.
Yeah, because Tamar said that she was dating a guy who wasn't in the limelight. He was great, but he just like he was like, before I go to the grocery store and it would be fine. But now that I'm dating you, people are like, oh, what are you doing? What you eating? Like, what you buying? Cancel up, nigga. Why you in my face?
That's a lie. I'm just trying to eat.
Right, I'm just trying to eat.
That's it. I was just coming in here to get some almond milk. Like that's
right.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That is a good point. I think that certain people aren't even going to be doing those type of things. But my friend always tells me to go on. What is that? Ready for Love and all of that. And so people be trying to.
I get the same thing, and I hear you.
There's some validity to that, Wes. I agree with you.
Yeah. And again,
but dating is hard now. Like people always tell me, like, go on the apps, go on the blah blah blah. And I can't app it yet, y'all. I can't.
I'm not with the app it. I'm not apping it yet.
I can't app it yet, y'all. It's levels. But I will say, dating has changed. So maybe that's another way now. It's just going on TV.
I thought about it when I was sitting there watching the show. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna mess around and start applying for some of these shows because it looks fun.
That's the one thing I will give it. It does look fun.
Yeah, it looks fun.
It looks fun.
I got little businesses too that I want to share, but I'm really looking for love. So it's just
right.
Oh, that's the other thing. Y'all probably didn't even notice it, but JR has on his pendants and stuff. Everything he is marketing. Y'all gonna notice it now.
I saw the little silver embroidery.
Yep, mm-hmm. he's marketing. So yeah, there is that. You have to be
because we're also in this space where it's like sometimes I think like I have this coaching business, I have other things that I do, and sometimes I feel a little sticky about it. It's like, well, now or even the YouTube stuff that I do, the information that I'm sharing is like so powerful, but it's like I haven't been on TV in a while. It hasn't been, so it's just like, dang, people really want to see that to get into. So I'm like, if that's what it takes, then that's a by all means to get the good stuff, then maybe
and then you just happen to fall in love on the side.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Just saying,
because you already look younger, so
I could definitely see. Yeah, that makes sense.
On Temptation Island, yeah,
means something.
I had a couple of casting directors for some of the reality TV dating shows. Like someone from Love Is Island hit me up. Someone from Temptation Island was in my DMs, and I was like,
no. See, I would do this over dating apps. I would legit do a TV show over dating apps.
Oh, for sure. I would definitely do a TV show before a dating app.
Yeah.
I think it's because I was building as an actress. I was like, when you do reality TV, like it's very hard to be taken seriously. So
that's understandable. Yeah, but at the same time, look how things have changed. Now it's almost like the people on reality shows are getting the acting gigs.
Right.
Some of them, yeah, but for the serious ones, I was like, I can't recall any. There's only been one, and she's from the real world, and then in the like early 2000s. I forgot her name. She's an Asian woman, but she made a good transition. And Cardi B, but that's it.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it does depend on the person and the personality. I was like, I don't doubt that I could do it, but I was like, I don't know. Maybe now that I'm not doing acting in that manner, I probably could consider it. But I was like, let me go ahead and do what I want with production coordinating, because I was like, I did recently start something new. I started like a whole separate like Instagram and TikTok because I love movies. So I started. I watched it so you don't have to. And like some of my little views are going up. It's cute, and Eclipse she makes a little entrance in the beginning, and she's like over it. But I just give my movie reviews, and a lot of people like them. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I hear cool. That does well, movie reviews and stuff like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I was like, who knows? I can end up on the red carpet simply from that. It's next to Michael.
But
I mean, I want to invite to the party.
Right. I was like, it's okay that you know, what's her face couldn't love you like that, because I can. I'm ready for some babies. Maybe.
Look, you heard me. What's her name? She said, "What's her name?"
Lori Harvey. Yes, I wanted to call her Lauren. I didn't want to get it wrong.
I want to mess that up.
I want to mess it up.
So.
Right. I mean, listen. Again, be excited about the unknown. Let it excite you, because you just never know. All of that is possible.
Right.
And that's the fun part.
It's true. I'm excited to be by myself for a while because I was like, dang, like I haven't been by myself maybe since like 2021. My best friend left me. Like she left in January. I was talking to someone in December and I didn't talk to anyone else until August. And I was like, I feel like we're entering that again. So
yeah.
But I know I'm loving it here because the most distress I ever experienced in my life, there's always a man attached to it. And now I feel good. I don't need it in a certain way. Maybe because I feel like it's already mine. I am a wife. I am a mom. This thing is happening.
You're just
going to hit the 3D when it does. Like, I'm not pressed, if that makes sense. It's not like this thing that I'm like, I don't feel.
You're not infatuated.
Yeah, right. I don't feel the same. It ain't, my right side of the bed ain't cold. Like, this is a warm bed.
Yes.
We're happy over here. Like, there's plenty of joy and love. I'm not missing something right now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, and I felt like for me, that's what I felt like I was missing because I was telling myself like, oh, you know, like my friends back home, like they're all like in serious relationships or married. And I was like, I haven't really cultivated my friendships here where friends are going through the same thing as me because I've been so worried about that. And now I was like, I'm a career woman. So, you know, I have to get to know me as a career woman. Like it could be completely different. Like, okay, like I can pay my own bills. Like I can do all this, you know, like I have to learn this side of me without somebody else attached to me.
That part.
Because I thought someone was going to be attached to me, but they're not going to be. So it's okay.
I tell people when I'm alone, I level up so hard. Like the level up it'd be so like I'd be like,
how am I getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and just killing the whole day? I didn't even know I had it in me. Like, what are we doing?
I need to get back on my walks because that's what I was doing before.
I am killing it in the gym with my coaching, with my content is consistent. I'm up early. Like,
I love it.
I have no complaints. Like, this is my life, you know?
Yeah.
We love to see it. I'm here for it. Can't wait to see what we are doing versus the first quarter of the year versus the last quarter of the year.
It's always
you know what I keep hearing in my spirit is 1 year from today, everything's going to look different. And I'm putting myself in position for that. So it's one thing to like want the things, but now I'm acting like the things. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm acting
There's a posture.
There's a posture. Correct. Yeah. Like, I'm in alignment for it. So I know 1 year from now, it'll be different. I'm different. I'm doing the things. It's just different. Right. It took some time.
I understand. Yep.
You got to layer it up, you know? It's your mindset, then it's your clarity, then it's your action, then it, you know.
Exactly. Like how I start the year. I told my sister this at the beginning of the year when everything was happening, when I met you guys and I was telling you about the 2 accidents back to back. I was like, I really feel like how we start the year is not nearly going to be how we end it.
No, because those things change you. There's no way to be the same.
There's a shift going on. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, it's a new era.
Yeah,
it's a new era. It literally is. And it's going to be beautiful.
And I'm excited. Like really told my Instagram followers, like when I posted that last, because I haven't posted anything, I was like, allow me to reintroduce myself.
My name is Jill. J to the O. Like she was like, hold on, let me get to it. Yeah.
I was like, you know, that's what's happening.
Yes.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm here for it. Artistic IQ says, and that's when it will come, when you're secure and happy with self. Hey, great.
Agreed.
She said, I'm ready.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm here for it.
I'm all right with that.
Well, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. We didn't even get to like episode 2 like that. And I'm gonna have to go in a minute. Like, I gotta wake up at 5.
Yes. Same.
Yes.
Same. I was like, okay, I figured we'd go from 5 to 7. I was like, because last time we didn't put a cap on it, and it was good.
We could have kept going.
Yeah.
But I want to be mindful, and I want us to all have time to do our things. But I really feel like this was an amazing conversation, and that's what I was kind of seeing with this show. It's the show, but there's so much more beyond that. You guys are brilliant. We're all going through things. We're of different ages and spaces and experiences, yet I feel like we all have things to share just when it comes to anybody tuning in, whether they're watching the show or not. I feel like we'll get something from just kicking it with us. So that was really more the main thing anyway, but we have this, you know, really fun platform where we get to kind of like be involved with these people and these shenanigans along the way and like see where, you know, the conversation takes us. So I love it. I'm here for it.
That's why I said when we were messaging, I was like, it's definitely relatable. The show is like, it is relatable. I mean, you know, regardless, but it is definitely relatable. So I appreciate being able to talk about it and look at it and discuss it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig around and see if we can't get one of these men on the show to talk about some of this stuff and their experience.
Right?
Oh, that would be so much fun.
That would be so dope.
Start sliding in some DMs.
Yes. Yes, that's actually a great idea.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I agree. So, like, who do you want to, who would be willing and open?
Like, what was this about? Like, how did you feel when, I just be wanting to know. I'm just,
We're going to bring Nathan so she could tell him how to show up.
Look, you can tell Nathan.
Tell his big grown self not to go off on nobody.
Right.
Did anybody ever tell you that?
He was probably like, I was such an asshole.
Did anybody? I just wanted to.
Has anyone ever told you not to show your ass in public? Because if they didn't, I want to share that with you. I want to offer that to you.
And he probably looked at himself on TV. At least I would hope. And he's probably like, I look a fucking fool.
Hopefully. Like, now he's gonna tell himself. Do you get what that's appropriate?
Yeah. Wow.
Like, embarrassing.
That was so embarrassing.
Oh man. He got himself eliminated.
Yes, straight up. So, well, I appreciate you for this.
Yes, this was so fun. You guys know what it is. Before we get out of here, y'all tell the people where to find you on your most active platform or whatever you got going on.
I'm raggedy. I'm not that active, but it is Dr. Dawn. What is it? Dr. Dawn.life. It's Dr. Dawn.life on the IG.
And I should probably put in my header next time my name.
No, I know. Now that we can do the header, I was like, oh.
Right.
Right?
Right. Next time. I am at Joe Queen, Joe __ Queen.
Yes, I love it. And you guys know you can find me. You're on my YouTube channel. So if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, come back, turn your notifications on because I'm coming through all week with insight and direction and gems and jewels, whatever comes to mind. It's very intuitive, but it's very helpful. And I have another show on Wednesday that I do with a dating and relationship consultant. And we take viral videos and talk about them from a man and woman's point of view. So turn your notifications on. It's fun. You can join the conversation. You can find me here on the gram. Make sure you spell my name right. You see that? Yes.
I love it. Oh, I'm going to have to tap in on a Wednesday. Yes.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good.
Yes. I'm going to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
It's
okay.
good.
Perfect.
And the guy's a total gentleman. He's on point.
Okay. True.
That's dope. I'm gonna check it out.
Yes. So we will be here next week.
Yes, we will.
So y'all make sure to tune into the after discussion of Queen's Court, and we will see you guys on the next show.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.